Avast, ahoy, and good day once again to ye mateys. I be your deliriously cheerful and alarmingly still awake DM Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more pride than if I had just run a 24-hour TTRPG charity marathon to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and the final game of our third annual Josh the International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day charity TTRPG marathon. Around me, I have me hearty crew, and this is the Z's now. This will be fun. The Zenithal, Rachel Foucar. The Zeitgeisty, Roe Rowe. And our two special guests, the Zephyrus Elibee and the Zaftig Tales of Pesh. Now, as we normally do, I will define. Zenithal, the highest point or culmination of something, Rachel. Zeitgeisty, as you may remember from University Row, characteristic of the mood or spirit of a specific period in history. Why not? You know? Zephyrus, similar to a light breeze. Which I think is quite nice, you know, not an unpleasant thing to say about somebody. And Zaftig, for Pesh, possessing a full and shapely figure. There you go. So let's talk about these lovely folks, shall we? Who are going to be playing. Guys, who the absolute heck are you? Rachel, who the heck are you?
Hello, my name is Rachel Foucar. I'm a writer, actor, creative trash at large. I don't know if I'd call 5'9" and a bit Zenithal, but you know, above the average zenith for a lady, I guess. You can find me on various social media at Rachel Foucar because I have the zenith of names. No one else has taken it. They can't get up here and get it. And if you follow me there, I'll tell you about my creative nonsense, such as the book that I wrote. It's called The Rings of Mars. They're in a spaceship. They're trying to get to Mars. Things happen. It's fun. You should read it.
Love it. Ro, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Roe Rowe. I'm a Perth-based educator and theatre maker. You can follow me over on Instagram at Cradventurers to see photos of my dog Charlie with the large ears, my many travel adventures and upcoming projects. I'm here on Mondays, and coming up in December, I'm going to be in Othello. So that's the next one on stage.
Ooh, cool. Awesome. Links will be posted for tickets when we have them. Elibee, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Elibee. I've previously been on this channel as part of our the lovely 3-shot playing Fig. Tonight I will be playing Ezmerelda.
Ezmerelda de Venier. How interesting. And Pesh, who the absolute heck are you, mate?
I make content under the moniker Tales of Pesh. You can find me over at my defunct Twitch channel, or you can more likely find me on YouTube, where I make documentaries about the setting called Eberron. I also produce music of all various genres, including for your listening pleasure while you play D&D. So,
splendid. Thank you very much. And Mesdames et Messieurs, Damen und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. Not in Karen. I was going to say in my Humblewood world.
Okay.
With my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and my lovely puppy, Siri. Hey, Siri. And all my splendid friends. Today, we are raising money for childhood cancer support, which is a super important charity and one that doesn't get a lot of love. It covers an area of cancer support that isn't often covered, because whilst there is an awful lot of money being poured into cancer research, as it absolutely should be, there is another element to it as well. The families of children with cancer need that help too. In Australia, more than 20% of people live rural, and 95% of the country is in fact rural. So there is a lot of people and a lot of space out there that needs help. So the childhood cancer support services provide accommodation for people traveling into cities to get treatment, flights and airport transfer services, and mental health support services for the families of children with cancer, all of which super important. I hope you can agree. Toward our fundraising efforts for that today, we are joined by 4 wonderful sponsors. Donations is the link to donate if you would like to. Our sponsors today are the wonderful Wooten Forge. Wooten Forge gaming accessories are the creators of WA and possibly even the world's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, like this gorgeous Jarrah Dice Keeper. Siri is very fond of it. We are giving away one of those Jarrah Dice Keepers, but not mine. You can't have it. That one's mine. And 2 Jarrah Adventurers chests, which are slightly smaller versions of the same. They can contain a single set of polyhedral dice and a mini in safe padded comfort. 2 of those to give away as well. The second sponsor is Roll with Advantage. Roll with Advantage create some beautiful dice, including these ones. These ones I will be rolling with this evening for this evening's stream, but they are giveaways. So you will have a set of dice that I have rolled on stream. I don't know if that makes them more or less valuable, but hopefully one of them. And there are 6 sets of dice to give away. One of the others will also be being used, this big chunky D100, which I hecking love. It's the size, weapon. It's huge. It's bigger than a golf ball, and it's awesome. It also contains the Eye of Sauron, because you need that. We have 6 sets of dice from them to give away. We also have Meeples and Dragons have sent us $150 worth of gift cards to their online store to give away as well. So you can purchase yourself some beautiful glassware or dice. They have dice up there as well. The glassware is D&D themed. Roe, I believe, has the Artificer, a stemless wine glass with the Artificer on it. I also have that one as well, because the Artificer is one of the best logos in my opinion.
Had to see on camera.
Roe won it last year. So yeah, you can head over and acquire some of those beautiful things. You can see a tankard and whiskey glasses in the ad reel in the center. And finally, Troll Lord Games have come on as well, and they have donated $150 worth of gift vouchers to their online store. So you can head over there and get some TTRPG supplements there as well. They are also having a Kickstarter right now supporting their Codex Exaltum and Codex Infernum Kickstarter, which is basically Angels and Demons for their setting. However, the setting is rules light, so you can just use it as inspiration for any other system you want to run. It is considered somewhat setting agnostic, which is really neat and extremely handy. So yeah, check out their stuff at trolllordgames.com. They are also going to be supporting us long term, which is very cool as well. If you do not have any money to chuck a donation our way, we completely understand. Times are hard, things are hard, people are hard, I know I am. And if you instead head over to Instagram and do your best Josh the Pirate impression, the impression of a Josh the Pirate intro, and then tag Corsair's Cove with it on Instagram, you will go into the running to win one as well. That'll get you a ticket there too. A Troll Lord Games voucher. The best one of those will win. We want to see all of your creativity on display, and I love seeing people talk like a pirate. So where I think that is a fair amount of the things. I must also remind our zealful, zesty, and possibly even zen audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have the YouTube, where you can see all the episodes you may have missed, all nearly 130 episodes of Humblewood that have come before this this setting. We are at level 9 now. It's getting pretty hectic. Strahd is looking like an actual possibility at this point. It's looking cool. Head on over there to the YouTube and check those out. And we have a Discord if you want to come and hang out with us there. Meet the cast, ask any questions you have, make suggestions. We love to hear them. I also share all the homebrew I do on the Hung, Drawn and Quartered, so you can check that shit out as well. I will be using some of it today. I think before we go any further, we need to get a bit of a recap. What the absolute heck happened last time in this setting, what we are in right meow. Rachel, Roe?
I love Rachel's face there.
This is not what we discussed.
I couldn't remember which. I'm sorry, I'm very tired.
We meet our adventurers, not in their normal forms, as small marsupials heading for a cabin. Walking through the woods at night appears to be slightly more dangerous when you are the size of a mouse lemur, as Celinox finds out quickly. On the way, Trish, as a cat, is overcome by her predator instincts and catches a mouse, which is unpleasant for her.
And the mouse.
Too much fur in my mouth.
And the mouse.
Mm-hmm.
further encounter another predator as an owl, one of Celinox's people, what is happening, almost catches the mouse lemur Celinox. Celinox goes into full prey mode. When we get to the house, Trish checks it out. Celinox hides. Soot lights a fire. Celinox freaks out some more on the watch, moving around windows, and is very worried when Bella does not show up as expected on time. Trish takes over as a cat is much calmer, and Soot tucks Celinox in. Bella eventually shows up. The cat startles her, and then they disagree for a bit because Trish is not impressed.
The entire
I don't know if it's the cat or the Trish. I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
After being not impressed, Trish allows Bella to attempt to lift the curse, which she does. It hurts a lot, but the curse is lifted. Unfortunately, after the curse is lifted, Chet decides to jump into the circle and almost explodes. It's a time. Luckily, Chet is saved and nursed back to health by a shocked Trish and a nursely Smoothie. The plan is to kill Bella with a fake death, go to the bone grinder, surprise the other witches, kick ass. Surprisingly, this never happened. The plan works. The element of surprise and 2 out of 3 in the coven with the other one dead works quite well. So we kill the 2 witches. Sorry, not sorry. We collect the sword. Smoothie prays to it, then gives it to Trish. Back at the cabin, we decide that we will part ways as Smoothie decides to escort Bella to the happy place. Oh, and my guy's going with them as well.
Yeah.
But Ezmerelda has called us and needs help. Celinox and Trish decide to head that way. Our adventurers have some final words before they part ways to see each other again soon. That's what I got.
Splendid. Thank you very much.
Good.
Amazing. Well, mateys, I think it was excellent. I hope that has caught everybody up on what's going on. May your long rests be under the wing of a smoke dragon, and all your absent party members not turn up dead after you left them with a hag who needed a strapping young man to help them take cooking supplies to Valakai. As we head, tremulously at first, it was oddly specific, I know, and then with mounting heat and passion into International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day. So, mateys, we return to Barovia and the old Svalich Road. Ezmerelda, you have met up with Arta, your old buddy, an old associate in Barovia, the town, not the place, Barovia, and have travelled here from there. So, first of all, what do we see when we meet Ezmerelda?
Oh, this is a good question.
Daria's listening carefully.
So, I'm assuming this is time for a lovely description of what she looks like.
I would love that.
So, Ezmerelda is a red-brown, tawny-coloured mouse. She's a Gerbine, of course, wearing some lovely flowing clothing because why not? Very different to the usual what you'd expect from a monster hunter. She prefers the ability to move freely rather than having everything strapped to her very tightly. She wears a red bandana, and she is dressed in dark blues and purples. Her eyes are black, kind of like you're looking into the void and the void is looking back. Also like she's seen some things.
She knows, man. She's been there.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. And she is accompanied by her friend, associate, buddy, Arta. What does Arta look like?
Arta is a full-bodied, I forget what the Z word for it was, a full-bodied... Zeftic, probably 6-foot strig.
Wow.
Sort of resembling a. I'm not too good with my breeds of owls, but something with a darker plumage. He's fairly advanced in age. He's in a suit of armor, also fairly worn, sort of half plate, a little bit rusty, more of a brass color than a shiny sheen, and adorned with a set of antlers wreathed in vines across the breastplate. He's got patches here and there, missing feathers and scarring of his skin, just from years of battle and service in the Perch Guard. And right now, it's time of day. Is it evening at the moment? Or
Sort of midday, actually.
midday? Okay, midday. Maybe just if we're at some sort of camp. Is that right?
You're making your way along the road.
Okay.
Actually mounted on Ezmerelda's cart.
Right.
Ezmerelda has picked you up, and this cart is a rather wondrous piece of machinery, pulled by a shaggy old cart horse. And it is a typical Vistani caravan to look at, unless you look very carefully. So it is a sort of a covered, so you think Oregon Trail, but solid walls. Carriage, and you're probably at least passingly familiar with it. So now that we know what they look like, let us determine how well they know each other. Ezmerelda, I'm going to roll this d20, and you are going to answer a question about Arta, and both of you have to play it. As part of this is the background of your relationship. I just rolled a 72, which we halved because I only have 50 options. Because coming up with 100 options was quite difficult. 72 halved is 36. 36 is, what was this person doing when you first met them?
I want to say asking for directions.
Ooh, I like it. I've got to ask more now. How long ago was this?
Oh, 4 years?
Okay, so he's been in Barovia a hot minute. Because if he's a Perch Guardian, then he is not native. So he got whisked here a while back, and I reckon it sounds to me like you met him when he arrived. You were like one of the first people he met when he arrived in Barovia. Interesting.
In your world, Josh, is Barovia like a separate dimension from
Very much so. It's a
world as
demi-plane that no one can come to unless Strahd allows it.
Okay.
And it could well be that Strahd summoned you here because he was interested or curious. He just tends to whisk people away. However, that is up for you to decide. Pesh, let us roll for you. We got a 45, which we halved to 22. Ooh, interesting. If this person was to sabotage a mission, how would they do it? And why? So if Ezmerelda was to sabotage something, how would she do it and why?
Ooh. I would say, from what... Haven't had a lot of personality cues yet, but I would say probably doing something that she considers to be the greater good, but kind of conflicts with the situation at hand.
Ah, okay. I like it. Interesting. So she is more about the greater good than actually, like, she sees the big picture. I like it.
Yeah.
And for funsies, and so that the other two don't get left out, I'm going to get each one of them to answer a question about... We'll flavor it. We'll make it work. Okay. Pesh, who would you like, Rachel Rowe, to answer a question about you?
I'll go with Rachel.
Rachel. Let us see if we can make this make sense. This was just something Josh made up. 33. 33. Okay, this actually works. Either Trish or Rachel, would you trust Arta to look after your pet or child, and why? I wouldn't trust Rachel to look after my pet or child. We heard what she said last week. Makes things grow and consumes them, as I recall.
Yeah, it's fine. It's only when she grows them.
child.
Your child, she didn't grow. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Right.
That joke was funny in context, I promise.
Yeah.
Listen.
No, that was not me attacking Rachel.
I'm gonna say no. Not maliciously though, because here's the thing. He's massive. He's covered in spiky stuff. Those antlers, clearly not child-approved. I think he's probably a good guy, but not experienced with kids.
But
And
not a child-friendly guy.
yeah, unfriendly, just inexperienced with
Yeah.
them. He doesn't know what to do with a kid.
Child safe, but not mother approved. Okay. Okay. Ro, I'm going to ask you to answer a question about Ezmerelda. An 8, a 4. Okay. Ooh, heck yeah. So, this is actually very cool. This is definitely a Celinox question. What potential do you see in Ezmerelda that they do not? The Celinox has a bit more history with this character than Elibee does at this point.
To move beyond the fighter and the hunter and follow their other dreams.
Like it. Thank you very much. Amazing. All right. Right. So, you guys, Ezmerelda and Arta are riding down the road. Ezmerelda has found Arta in Barovia, not Barovia, and said, I mean, you're in both Barovia and Barovia, and said, hey, I think I need a help. She's essentially said to Arta what she said to Trish and Celinox. Hey, I'm about to do something. I think I'm going to need some help. I don't think it's a one-woman job. Can I borrow you for an afternoon? I'll give you a lift. And Arta, having nothing better to do, apparently, has decided to go with her. So you are riding out of town, looking to meet up with Trish and Celinox. Trish and Celinox, you have been riding for about 4 hours. I believe you kept the cart, so you're riding on the cart with Thunder. The horse, pulling you along. So you are coming down out of the mountains, out of the Balanok Mountains, and you meet in the middle, it's still in the foothills of the mountains, as Ezmerelda is waiting for you at a pathway leading off into the mountains as well. Jack Squarepeg redeemed an inspiration. What are you doing here, mate? Aren't you in Amsterdam? I can do it now.
I
Yes,
think
you
he's at
absolutely can.
Oktoberfest, isn't he?
No, I got a message from him this afternoon.
Trish!
For Trish. Trish
Already
got
had
man.
one. Fine. I see how it is.
Train, lol. Very well. 2 for Trish, I guess.
Love it.
Excellent. So, yeah, fine, Cell, I guess. No, you said Trish, that's okay. I'm sure... So yeah, Ezmerelda and Arta, what would you be discussing?
Well, if Ezmerelda is driving the wagon, I would say Arta is most likely napping on top of the canopy at the back. Not only because it allows him to, see further when he's actually awake, but, just being a bird folk, he likes to be as high as he can. Most likely complaining about the bumpiness of the ride, to be honest.
Alrighty, no conversation for you guys.
Ezmerelda, can we just slow down a little bit, please?
You'll stop complaining. No.
I'm trying to nap.
Why you need nap?
Because if what we've been discussing is just, I'm gonna need rest before
Fine.
action time.
You rest. I drive.
Yeah!
Yeah. On 30.
I love it. What was his name? Bertie. Excellent. Fantastic. It's canon.
Oh my god, I hope Birdie and Thunder like each other.
Birdie and Thunder. Lost Archives are raiding. Thank you very much for the raid, you bloody champions. Avast, mateys! You is... Oh, Betty or Bertie?
Bertie.
Bertie.
Bertie,
Yeah.
sorry.
Cool. No, all good. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Owen, you bloody champion. Thank you for bringing your wonderful peeps. Guys, we are heading into Barovia once again, and this time it is for International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day. I am putting the link up in chat for donations. We are raising money for childhood cancer support. Every $5 dues you donate puts you into the prize draw to win one of over $900 worth of prizes. It is a pretty massive prize draw, and we are very, very close to our next goal. We are at $1,969 and 20 odd cents. So thank you very much for that, and I know who did the last one, you bloody champion. I'm looking at you, Aaron. Yes, that is the conversation being had on that side. Rach and Roe, Cel and Trish, you are heading down out of the mountains with being pulled along by Thunder. Soot and Chet sitting beside you. I'm imagining the four of you sitting on the couch at the front, like the little seat at the front of the cart. And so it's the two big ones and then the two small ones sitting in between them, just riding down out of the hills. Girl trip, as you said. Is there anything you want to say or do?
Celinox has definitely been trying to get Trish to join in some sort of battle song the whole way.
Trish would be alright with a battle song. I think she could vibe with it. She is currently very much enjoying having thumbs again. So I think she would have, she's just repairing clothes and things, just stuff that's gotten worn. Sewing, singing, having a good time.
Hells yeah.
Fucking love it.
Up ahead, you see a familiar cart pulled by a shaggy cart horse. Trish thinks this cart is the miracle of Scroungecraft. Filled with secret nooks and crannies, hidden doors and disguised weapons. One panel on the outside folds down into a camp table, another into a workbench with a miniature furnace. A section on the top expands into a two-person rowboat. And that's just what you've witnessed. It's a pretty handy thing. It's the sort of thing that has... Oh, there's the Celinox inspo. Get off my case. You both have inspiration now. Well done.
It's because he loves me, really. It's not...
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So the two carts meet. Yeah. Do you want to say or do?
At speed or...
Yeah, you basically... Yeah!
With
One would win. Thunder can go faster, but the cart that Bertie is pulling is significantly sturdier.
will be mine.
So yeah, you pull up next to each other, and Ezmerelda, these are the people you have invited here.
G'day, Ezmerelda. Who's your mate?
Hello.
Arthur, wake up.
What? Oh, yeah.
The
Hello.
backup has arrived.
Hello, I'm Arthur.
He doesn't look like he's from around here.
I'm not.
He very much is not.
Humblewood as well as, yeah. Sorry, my name's Art. Sorry, I've had a little, look, excuse
Yes,
me
we
1 second.
know you are tired.
He's gonna pull out a flask and like have a quick swig from it, and for some reason he sobers up instead of going in the other direction.
Oh my god.
I love it. Celinox, you may
Sorry.
make a history check.
Sure.
Because these two Strig both served in the Perch Guard.
3.
Nope, never heard of him. It's a fairly large organization. That's fine. I was just curious. Yeah, the name doesn't ring any bells, nor does the face.
You been on this side of the portals and such for a while?
I think it's been 4 years.
That sucks.
How about you lot?
Weeks?
Two-ish,
Not too
two and a
long.
bit.
Oh, well, must be nice. How's the woods going?
Well, but we
I
we
mean,
took care of the fire, so that's good.
There was a fire.
Wait. Yeah, there was a bit of a situation with fire, but it's been resolved.
He'd have heard of the Scorched Grove,
Oh yeah, but there's.
but it wasn't a
like
big thing before he left.
a more recent fire, or a...
Yeah.
yeah.
The scorch was kind of encroaching for a while there, but then we stopped it, so that's nice.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to Barovia, I guess.
thanks.
Uh,
It's a
so
bundle
far,
of
my
laughs.
opinion is not great.
You get used to it.
Good to know.
How long has
Really,
Cel
you
been
haven't.
here?
It's been like a month or so, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
right. Because you
Like,
didn't
'cause
come
I
with
was there-
Trish. Yeah,
No,
you were here
I was
before.
there. I've been here for a bit longer, but not too much longer.
Yeah, right. Cool. So, Ezmerelda, I'm just going to say that you express your plan, which I will express now, just so the audience knows what it is. So, Ezmerelda's been doing a bit of digging around, looking for Rudolf van Richten, her servant educator teacher that she knows from way back. He sort of taught her how the tricks of the trade with the monster hunting, and she caught wind of the fact that he has come back to Barovia, which she was aware that he had buggered off, and B, he means to take out Strahd before he is too old to do it. He's getting on a little bit. And so, with that intention, he has arrived and he set up shop. But you don't know where. So, she's been trying to figure out where the fuck he's gone. She has tracked him down, she believes, to a tower that used to belong to a lich, actually. A wizard, an arch-wizard who helped build Castle Ravenloft before Strahd even became a vampire. He then later on built his own tower, and from which he studied at the Amber Temple the secrets of lichdom, eventually managing to become a lich. At one point he even stood against Strahd to try and take over Barovia, but rather than destroy him, Strahd recruited him as an advisor. He eventually buggered off, no one knows where, because he was trying to do something else, something even stupider. So he is currently not in residence. However, he did build this tower up in the Balanock Mountains. And Ezmerelda believes that Van Richten may have gone there. However, it is a lich's tower, and probably not to be trifled with, hence getting a couple of well-armoured buddies to help her do it. So, that's the plan.
It's not the same lich that we met at the Amber Temple, is it?
It's not Exathanta.
There's more. How many fucking liches do they have around this place? I didn't like the last one.
What is it? What is it about wizards wanting to not be people anymore? Is it not just enough to be a guy who can do magic? Oh no, I've got to be an Astorial. I've got to be a lich. Just fucking calm down.
Yeah,
All
fucking
that
dick.
schooling rots your brain.
We can agree.
I'm glad. I feel strongly about this, I guess.
The lich's name was Karzov Greybeak. So definitely not Exathanta. I mean, the Amber Temple that you guys went to definitely contained people who could help you turn yourself into a lich. So you've actually met how it happened and could easily happen again. So yeah. Sort of the answer to your question there. Yes, Bishop Blood, she does hate magic.
All right. So the plan is to go to the tower that doesn't have a lich, but might have some bad shit, and find Van Richten.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All
I
right.
am worried I am not stupid. I do not go without backup.
Yeah, seems legit.
Oh, that's good.
And Ada, is it?
It is.
You You look like you can handle yourself.
Yeah, well, maybe not as well as I used to, but I think I could still hold my own.
Oh, yeah, you served?
I did. Perch guard.
Ah. Nice. All right, let's go.
Arta, from the cut of her armor, you can tell Celinox also served in the Pesh.
Oh, I can. Oh, okay. All right. So I see you were served yourself.
Yeah, I mean, technically still serving.
Oh, right.
Just, I'm here. But anyway, let's go.
It's totally a fine topic.
Yeah. I think Arta senses that. He's like, all right.
Okay, I'll leave that one alone. Yeah, everything ended super groovy there. So you make your way along this. So the road heads east-west down into the valley, rather than taking the road back down from which Ezmerelda and Arthur just came. They instead head north into the mountains themselves, along a basically nothing more than a small goat track. Eventually, you are obliged to leave the larger cart, which is Rach and Rose, behind. There just is not room along this. However, Ezmerelda's cart is pretty specifically designed to be kind of an off-road vehicle as much as a cart on a house on wheels can be. So you are able to navigate that one all the way up to the little tower. The Svalich woods have swallowed up the road that once led to the tower. Now only a wide dirt trail remains. Let me see. You come to a cold mountain lake, enclosed by misty woods and a causeway and rocky bluffs. The thick fog creeps across the dark, still waters. The trail ends at a grass-covered tower in the center of this lake, on a very flat island in the center of the lake. The old tower is decrepit, with collapsing scaffolds clinging to one side, where a large gash has split the wall. Time-worn griffin statues, their wings and flanks covered with moss, perch atop the buttresses that support the walls. The tower is about 80 feet tall. It has 4 levels, each 20 feet high, and a mostly intact slate tile roof. The second, third, and fourth floors all have arrow slits that are 6 inches wide, 3 feet tall, and 1 foot thick. And the tower's uppermost level also overhangs, that just sort of sticks out a little bit, and has window boxes in addition to the arrow slits. You are, I will say, 100 feet from it, disembarking from the cart that you have ridden here. What do you do?
You know, the archer things in the Lich Temple, Trish. You reckon that's a Lich thing?
Oh, it could be. Oh, I hate those things. Yeah, we should definitely be on the lookout for flying skulls.
So maybe avoid the
Flying skulls.
Yeah. All right. What's the plan of attack? Are we going sneakily or for the front door?
I'm
Well-
open to ideas.
You know me, I love to sneak.
Well, my new armor is pretty sneaky. The upgrade.
I saw that, it was good.
Yeah. Ezmerelda, what do you reckon?
Does Ezmerelda have any previous knowledge of liches and how they would set up any of the traps on the outside?
You can imagine, experience with liches, probably not a huge amount, but you can certainly make either a history or arcana check.
I think I'll go with Arcana.
More sort of the research you've done on this particular lich.
That is a 21.
21. Freaking love it. Yeah, this is what happens when Smoothie takes a break. The girls have to bond. 21 is pretty darn good. Your research, so Kazov was a magical architect. So looking at this building, Ezmerelda, so Ezmerelda for the audience is an artificer, is what we have statted her as, which is kind of fun.
Ooh.
So applying your sort of magical engineering brain to this, there is no way in hell that building should still be standing. So the fact that it is definitely indicates that magic is involved, which does track given what Kazov was all about. So you could guess that any defenses, magical or other, any defenses probably would be magical, but he didn't seem... Liches, if they make servants, they don't tend to have an awful lot of free will. So there may be some defensive structures, but it probably, if it's not immediately obvious, it'll be more like wards and, bound spells. What did you actually roll on the dice?
14.
14. Oh, wow, okay. No, that's what you get with a 21.
Will, I think this will be magic. Any trap, definitely magic. But I don't think it matters if we are sneaky or not. I think they probably planned for most things.
Trish, yeah, you reckon you can do that thing to see about the magic?
Sure, why not?
Trish cricks her neck and does her magic awareness. Gotta love them wild magic barbarians. You do a magic awareness. The range on it is what? Everything you can see, right?
Yup.
Cool. This tower is 100% mundane. Not a lick of magic about it.
That's suspicious.
To your magical senses.
Somehow that's worse.
Yeah.
Look, we just came from a structure that looked one way and was a completely different way, so I trust nothing. Let's stick together, and if something looks edible, it's not.
Cat?
Noted.
Wise words.
Although that wine we got from the dragon place was pretty good. But
A rare exception. I would be cautious about any food or drink in this place.
Soot.
yes, man.
And Soot, the little dragon, goes, well, you found me in that place too. That was alright, right?
That was also awesome, mate. Right.
Soot.
Always
When
needed a value.
Ezmerelda and Arta hear Soot talk, they do not hear any of the extra meaning. It is literally just, he says Soot. And you're like, and it would appear that Trish and Celinox understand this creature. But you are not exactly certain how. In fact, because it's fun for me, can you both roll me insight, Pesh and Elibee? There's a one-off insight check to see whether or not you can understand when this dragon talks.
16.
16. 19. Yeah, you actually understand him pretty darn well. He says soot, but you get his vibe. You're able to understand what he means when he says soot, soot, soot. Yeah, he has a vocabulary of about 5 words. He can say Trish. I don't think he can say Celinox. It's too long.
Stella's fine.
Sell. You got Cell? And he can say Chet as well. Chet actually can talk, but it's the talk of a young child, because Chet is a young child. And also not a mimic. Chet is a small cat.
He's not a cat right now,
he's a raccoon. He'll never be a cat again. He is currently a little raccoon with a very distinctive, figure 8 black eye patch around his eyes. Very dark. Infinity symbol over his eyes. So yeah. Chet would say holes inside. Just looking at it. Implying things could get in. pointing at like upper levels. There is no at the ground floor. There is no way to get in just other than the front door. There isn't any rents in the walls, but things could possibly get in higher up.
Yeah, but you're not going up there on your own, and we're
Chet.
probably going in.
Chet appears to have
You do Chet
taken
now,
on.
do you?
Chet seems to have taken on Soot's talking mannerisms weirdly.
Yeah.
Soot? No, I won't.
Yeah,
Chet, no.
so... No, okay. So I guess we're going in the front door then.
Well, Ezmerelda said they probably know we're here already, so I don't see why not.
Alright.
About to
Where
meet
you
your
hanging?
doom.
So,
D20, who are you giving your inspiration to? And I also saw a D4 in chat as well from Terrace. Terrace, who do you want to give the D4 to? And D20, who are we giving the inspiration to? Prepare to meet your doom. Are you giving it to me?
I think
not-
Tara said... So Tara said for whoever needs it whenever.
Oh, okay. Very well. It's a freebie to whoever. Noted.
Nice,
That does
nice.
save me an effort because I don't have to then put the picture in. Alrighty. And insp 3. To Elibee. Make some terrible choices. Okay. Noted. Elibee, you have inspiration. Thank you
Excellent.
very much, D20. Pop it there in the little corner above your face. There we go. Right. So, you make your way across the causeway. And up.
Just before we go in, Celinox is going to look at and Chet. You two coming with, or are you going to stay out here where it's safe? I mean, you can guard the cart for us. It's an important job.
Soot is like, want come?
Well, it's up to you, mate, but guarding the cart is an important job. And coming with us might, well, we might run into some things and some stuff.
Arta and Ezmerelda, you can make a history check if you like. You do not have to, but you can.
Ooh, it's not good. 7.
7? No, that's all
Me
right.
too.
Sorry, 22. Excellent.
Oh,
I'm on fire tonight.
I
Ezmerelda,
want to
you
get
are
Ezmerelda to roll for me.
you are aware that this will these forests are lousy with wolves and other things.
What's the safety like on my cart?
Oh, inside, absolutely fine. Anybody getting in there? There is a self-destruct if somebody actually gets in. Like if somebody breaks in, you can set an alarm. Basically, it's just like if anybody gets in, they die. The cart also explodes, but it's 100 flasks of alchemist's fire, all rigged to blow when. And this is from the book. I'm not making this shit up. Yes. Rigged to blow when somebody opens the front door without asking. Or disabling it.
Maybe your companions can stay in the cart. They can protect in there.
Yeah, you can protect the inside. Might even find
Many
something.
valuable things inside.
Jet stay. Jet stay?
Okay. I think that's a good idea, Chet.
Soot! And Chet and Soot stay inside the car. Thank you for disposing of 2 NPCs that I no longer have to pilot. Excellent. Okay. You head along the causeway up to the front door. You are now very much close enough to make a perception check, if you like, to determine any other things about the tower that might be relevant.
I got a nat 20, 22.
Nat 20.
I rolled a 9.
A 9. Look. Less than
18.
optimal. An 18.
15.
15. Nothing that you haven't already seen. Rach, you're possibly a little bit worried about Chet. You're like, oh, I don't want to leave my little baby behind. She's still not okay. Arta, You're approaching this, I think, from a military point of view. Like, how would I attack this? How would I assault this? It is very defensible. There is, other than the front door, basically no way in above about 15 feet off the below about 15 feet off the ground. There is a scaffold outside that you could potentially climb to get in through the upper levels. There is a rent in one wall on the 3rd floor that you reckon you could probably squeeze your armor through. However, the scaffolding does not. That is what you get, rather. However, Elibee, your artificer senses a tingling, going, that scaffolding, that might take my weight. It would not take Arda's weight. It would definitely not take Arda or Trish. Might probably not not Celinox either. But I might be able to. But yeah, Ezmerelda is comfortably quite a bit smaller than the other three. Celinox, you would be the first to notice that. You notice both of those things. You would also be the first to notice the door. I have put on stream the picture of the door, and I will also post it in the Discord, because it's a kind of important plot point. So here is a picture of the door. I think it's that one. Hope it's that one. Nope, not that one. The image is of a sigil on the door itself. The door, there it is. I actually labeled it the door. There you go, that's helpful. Yes, there is a picture there, and in the middle of the door, the entrance is a sealed steel door, reinforced with copper plating and featuring a large bronze disc with a strange rune embossed upon it. Celinox, your nat 20 would determine that forcing this door would require more strength than the 4 of you possess.
All right. Well, I reckon we need to do something to that thing to get in, but don't know what. Anyone?
I want to huck a rock at it, see if it's going to explode if I touch it. Then maybe I could pick the lock.
Okay.
I'm going to huck a rock at it.
You huck a rock at it. How far away from the building are you when you do this?
Oh, a good ways away.
Okay.
Smart.
I definitely
How's
backed
Trish's
up
arm?
from the door when Trish is like, I'm like, ah!
I reckon yeeting a rock is not particularly difficult. You could easily chuck it 30 feet.
Then I'm 30 feet away.
Okay, are you aiming at the door or the walls? This
The
may be
door.
relevant. All of this may or may not be relevant. The door.
Maybe the door.
Okay, make me a dex-based attack roll, please.
All right. 14.
You hit the door with a small rock.
Superb.
It makes a loud clanging noise. It's definitely metal. It rings with that sort of the deep thrum of a bell, like quite a thick piece of metal. It's a thung, not a ding.
All right. It didn't explode. That's always a good sign.
It didn't explode. I wouldn't say you hit the runic plate itself, but you hit the metal of the door.
All right. I'm going to go up to the door and have a closer look, see if there is a lock to be picked.
Yep, there is a lock.
I'm not 100% certain, but I also am not sure that this is the kind of door that you want to just shove a lock in, pick into. But, you know, you do you.
Is it the kind of lock like a keyhole lock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like quite a large gauge, like big. The key would probably be about yay long, and one of those big copper keys that can take a fair amount of wear and tear.
Friends,
Looks like a fairly simple simple lock, actually. Rach.
Friends, I am open to alternatives. I don't know what this rune means. It didn't explode. If someone's got a better idea, speak now. Otherwise, I'm gonna pick this lock.
Well, I was thinking about turning it, but I don't know, I suppose that's about as risky as picking the lock.
Yeah. Listen, bring my corpse back to the Humblewood, all right? And I'm gonna start trying to pick the lock.
Okay. Where is everybody in relation to the door when
For fuck's
Trish...
sake.
I'm just asking. It may or may not be relevant. Are you all clustered around her nicely, or are you spread out? Are you giving her a wide berth? Are you demonstrating trust in her abilities or not?
Yeah, Arthur is just fairly impassive. I'd say he's probably right next to her. Actually, you probably this would have been noticed already, but he hauls like a fairly large log around with him. It's probably the size, probably the length of a 4x4 and 4 times as thick, almost looks like a proper log. And he's just probably leaned it on its end. He's just like one arm leaning on it, just watching intently, like only probably like 5 feet away or so.
There with a fence post, just chilling.
Yeah,
okay.
the old fence post lean, yeah.
Yep. All right, cool. Where's Ezmerelda in all of this?
Bit further away.
Smart. In terms of feet, how many feet away from the door is Ezmerelda?
Oh God.
When nothing happens, I'm going to be so happy.
After the rock, she probably moved a little bit further forward, but not too close. So I want to say about what, 20 feet?
20 feet. Okay. Roe. How close is Celinox?
I reckon Celinox was like right at the door looking at the thing. But when Trish has made the gag about taking her body back, she's backed off a bit.
Right.
So
How far?
I reckon like not too far. Like she doesn't want to look cowardly. So I reckon like 10 feet max. 5 to 10 feet.
10 feet max from the door or from Trish?
From Trish.
Okay. All right. Trish, can you make me a sleight of hand lockpicking check, please?
I sure can. 29.
29. Amazing. Can you all please make me dexterity saves except Ezmerelda?
Yeah, that's fair.
Celinox, you have advantage.
Oh, sweet.
Ha ha! 29!
The first outing for these dice.
14.
14 and a 16. Ooh, very nice. The 14 is a fail, unfortunately. However, the 16 is a success. So you guys, those who succeeded are taking half damage. Because a... that's rubbish. That's stupid. Wow. You're very lucky. I just rolled, these pink ones, like you. I just rolled 4 d10s. I got 9.
Excellent.
So you guys take 4 points of lightning damage as the entire castle, the entire tower, becomes wreathed in a lightning field. Just chattering, crackling lightning around it. Bolts of electric blue just coruscate along the walls and rocks of it, and you feel the charge in the air, Trish, just as you feel the lock click. However, Trish, with the 29, I will allow you to know that this is a false lock. You definitely opened it, but it doesn't open the door.
Was that electrical discharge? Was that just does that count as a spell, or is it like a trap?
It would not be considered a spell.
Okay.
This is a trap, yes. And it is ongoing. The lightning is continuing to crackle along the outside of this building. I'm very disappointed with the damage of that. It's supposed to be 22. But there we go.
Was it 4 half?
9 for full. Half for...
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I have a quick question before I...
I apologize. Actually, if you're wearing armor made of metal, you have disadvantage, Pesh. But I don't think it's going to matter a super
better.
amount.
No, it's cool. That was
the
16 stays. Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Okay. Well, look, we'll take it where we can get it. Yes, the lightning continues to crackle around the building.
Quick question that may be relevant. On our journey after last week's episode, will we have been able, was it a long enough journey to take a rest? Of the short or
No.
long variety?
You could definitely have had a short.
Sweet, thank you.
It was about
That's not
4
gonna-
hours on the cart from the last week to now. This is why the world moves so slowly. With 3 seasons in, it's only been about 2 weeks. Yes. All right. Yeah. The tower is now encased in lightning. It now looks significantly harder to get into than it did a minute ago.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say it.
Say what?
What?
Say what?
Nothing. I'm not saying it. All right. Can I, like, the whole door, is that now, like...
There is a field of lightning basically continuing to blast the ground around the castle within about, like, all the ground around the castle walls in about 5 feet from the walls is being regularly blasted with lightning bolts.
Oh, fantastic.
Ignoring her better judgment, Ezmerelda's gonna walk closer. Yeah, I want to have a look at the door.
You can examine it from 5 feet distant and not get shocked. That's fine. Yeah.
That's fantastic. What check should I be running on that?
Let's have an investigation, I think.
Let's do that.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. For all future saving throws, just let me... For
Oh,
future saving throws
Paladin.
from now on, if I'm conscious, we all have +3 to it, to the throw. I've just
In which
noticed.
case, given that Celinox only failed by 1, I will allow that Celinox only took half.
Oh, if you're within 10 feet of me. Within 10 feet of me.
I think she was.
Yeah!
Just.
Great, thank you.
But yeah. Good point. I was like, oh yeah, Paladin. Paladins are the fucking best.
I've never played Paladin before.
Oh, Paladins are so much fun. Decent level Paladin as well, like level 8 or 9. Oof, that's some big help. Alrighty. How'd you do?
8.
You do have inspiration.
I think I might use it. That was worse. 7.
Oof. Okay. Yeah. The only thing I will give you is that you feel like the rune is probably the key. It is... I think Ezmerelda is reasonably experienced with... Like, it's not her particular speciality. It's actually more like Trish's particular speciality. Elementals. But she does know a little bit about the other planes. She is a bit of a planes hopper. And this doesn't look like any rune you've encountered before in terms of... You wouldn't say this is magical itself. Whereas most runes possess an inherent magic.
I have never seen this before.
Does it turn?
Hard to tell, because lightning.
Right.
Might do. If you wanted to make an investigation check on it specifically for that Celinox, the DC would be quite low.
Alright. I'm going to do that. 18.
18. Celinox, you don't think so. It looks, well, you can see at several points around it, it is bolted to the door. As it, riveted to the door.
I'm gonna take a talon and without touching, I guess, because I don't want to get shocked. Trace over the pattern.
As in
on the door.
To do that, you would have to enter the field of lightning blasts.
What, like? All right.
There is a 5-foot radius around the tower.
Oh, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, it is continuing. Just lightning is just arcing off. It all seems to be coming from the spire at the top of the roof.
We have an electric fence.
Yeah.
Oh. Could we get rid of that thing? I'm gonna Can I shoot a crossbow at the spire on the roof?
You
Please?
can try. Yes, sure.
We're gonna give that a go.
Make a heavy crossbow attack.
8.
8 to hit. You miss.
No, I'm gonna use my inspiration, please.
Okay. Or just, and I'm just saying, just shoot
Or just shoot again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot again.
Baldur's Gate rules. Like, seriously, just fire again.
11 to hit.
It's a stationary object. It's not overly far. It's 80 feet away, so it's within easy range. I will say you hit it. The arrow hits it, and there is a spark as the metal tip of the arrow hits the lightning rod that you are shooting, and the wood of the bolt itself just immolates. But nothing further seems to happen.
Oh. Anyone else got any bright ideas, or do we need to just deal with the lightning now?
Josh, could I do like a history or an intelligence check as to whether Trish would know about how electricity is conducted? Does Trish know about rubber gloves? Do I have rubber gloves? Can I check for that?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely you can. I think a straight intelligence, unless you are proficient with history.
They're both equally average. I'm going to do an intelligence. And I'm going to use my inspiration, because that was not great. Slightly better.
Oh, you have 2 inspirations, don't you? Because Jack gave you one as well. Yeah. Cool, slightly better. How did you do? I can't see them today.
I got a 12.
A 12.
A 12.
A 12. Yeah, I'll say this is fantasy world where technology hasn't progressed anywhere near as fast, and I would say probably because magic exists. Why do you need cars when you can fucking teleport? A basic understanding that lightning is drawn to metal, and you probably don't know the intricacies of conductivity, but you are aware that, metal stuff probably not the best thing to touch lightning stuff with. You do have a vague understanding of that. Stuff that blocks lightning in this world, not very much. Stone? Maybe water is not a great idea. Being wet does not help. It's... I suppose the thing that does spark in your brain, pun intended, is that this is probably magic.
Okay.
And you got no magic, and this is coming from this building, not from a person, from the building itself. Shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be able to happen, not without you knowing about it. And it's why Trish hates magic.
That the rune itself not readable by any of us, not decipherable.
You can make an intelligence check as well if you like, Arta.
Oh, give it a red hot crack.
Why not? Stop clocks can be right once a day.
And that 20 for
Yes!
a 19 because he has -1.
Amazing. All right, Arta, you've been sort of studying this. You're taking your time. The others are like running around like, oh, what do we do? You're just calmly leaning on your fence post, and then you notice that there aren't one rune. There's a bunch. All around the circumference of the copper disc are smaller symbols, ones that you suspect are not are related to, but not necessarily part of the central one.
And this thing doesn't look like it's fixed, isn't it? It doesn't look like it can turn. Or anything.
No. Yeah. I suppose I will give you one more word of clue: instruction.
But we don't. At least Arta doesn't recognize what.
It doesn't look like writing. Anything you've seen, Humblewood and Birdfolk writing is very looks like literally like chicken scratch. All the letters are formed from 3 bird talons placed in various ways, variations on the same. So an A is literally just a V upside down with 2 claw marks. Yeah, things like that. E's are that on the side. So yeah, this is not script.
Mhm. Well, these runes around the edge, they have to mean something, right?
Do you know what they mean?
No, I don't. I really don't.
I
Only-
mean, they look kind of like a person, but I doubt it's that. Celinox is gonna start doing the rune dance. So it's like dun dun dun, and then it
Celinox,
gets you
that's a
see
robot.
Celinox.
she goes around and she does the rune dance until she
In
finishes.
what manner? Like, as in following? Can you describe to me? Like, I'm trying not to feed it to you. You said you start like that.
Yeah. So
Um,
like her wings come up, and then
Yeah.
she's like wings like I don't know, one down, one up, and then
Uh-huh.
straight out,
Yeah,
and
I
then
think I see what you're doing. Okay.
back down. And then
Can you
back
make me
up.
a performance check?
18. It's a really good ruin dance.
It is. So the two strig have been sort of sitting. I was like, I think it's about this, and the other one goes, yeah, right. Like starts doing some bizarre aerobics, like pre-gliding aerobics, and after about 15 seconds of forming the rune dance, the door clicks and slides open. Just creaks open a little bit, and the lightning, with one final spark into the ground, stops.
Dancing lock, huh?
My kind of door.
This lich, he have a sense of humor.
He did, I believe, like to pop and lock it.
I see. That's pretty good.
Elibee, I'm just going to put that inspiration right back there for you. Great. So, yeah, do you go inside?
Well, I mean, the door's open now.
Maybe keep doing the dance on the way in just to be safe. Just gonna-
Only if you join me.
Turn sideways to walk through a normal-sized door. Can you please make me performance checks? Or dexterity saves. Your call.
I would prefer to go for a dexterity save, if that's okay.
You get my bonus to your save.
Oh, sweet. So does that mean, what is it? Plus what?
+3.
Oh, so I rolled 16, so 19?
Nice. Yeah, I was kidding. Basically,
Oh.
nothing happens. You can just go in.
Well, we
I
dance
opted
in.
for the
We
performance.
dance
You
roll
definitely
terribly.
dance in. Yeah, you can take the role for the performance. It was very good. Very silly. It may or may not be necessary to continue doing that as you enter, but you do. And at least the two strig are inside. Trish and Ezmerelda, do you follow?
Yes.
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 You sound upset, right?
Do we follow the dancing idiot?
Why not? Why not?
I
don't.
am irrationally happy with how... Great. You go inside, and I read the next bit. On the inside of the door, you find the flagstone floor is strewn with debris, and a few old crates stand near the east wall. A torn curtain to the south partially obscures the tower vestibule, which is actually, you first enter into a little 10-foot by 10-foot square room, and a curtain obscures the way further, but it's tattered and doesn't really properly obscure it. You can go inside relatively easily. A 5-foot square indentation in the center of the floor contains 4 pulleys attached to taut iron chains that stretch up through... In fact, I'm going to make it a 10-foot square indentation. stretch up through a similarly sized hole in the rotted wooden ceiling. Standing next to the chains are 4 tall clay statues, each a different humble folk race. There is a servan, a mapatch, a hedge, and a vulpin. They are not particularly detailed images of people. They have not been created with you would think, a great degree of care, which is interesting because the rest of the place seems to have been made very specifically, if not well maintained. These things, they're in and out of the elements, they are of fired clay, so they should be reasonably sturdy. It's more like someone just didn't care a lot. And they are all about 10 feet tall. Other than that, the room is empty. So you bunch of crates and barrels, and detritus on the floor. Looking up, there is a wooden ceiling. Though there are a couple of cracks in it, you can see the room above, but it doesn't appear. You can't see anybody beyond it. Anything else? Make a perception check.
And sorry, there's a staircase somewhere, I assume?
There is no staircase.
No staircase. And no other doors besides the one we entered?
No other doors beside the one you entered. You're in a room that is no more than 50 feet wide. Roughly circular. In fact, perfectly circular. With a 10-foot platform in the middle attached to chains that looks like it would go up through a hole in the roof above it.
Ah, okay. Is there like, and there's the chains is like a pulley system?
It would appear so.
Okay.
Oh, so it looks like we can pull the chains and
Could well
the
be.
platform will go up. Oh.
Could well be.
But the 10-foot statues are around that platform, yeah?
The 10-foot statues each have one hand holding a chain. As in, the chain is molded into the clay.
Ah.
Right, alright.
That was a perception check, was it?
If you would like to notice anything more about the room, it would be perception. Otherwise, yeah.
Let's
Tell you
try
what
to
you
go.
see without needing to ask.
16?
A 16. Yeah, looking up through the hole in the roof, you can make out these holes keep going up through all 4 levels. So yeah, there are 3 more levels above this that you can see. However, from your angle, it's really hard to make out anything about that. However, listening, you do not hear any sounds of movement or inhabitation at all in this building. It would seem to be completely deserted but for the 4 of you.
Alright, now this is going to sound really unreasonable, but do you reckon we could just ask politely?
Maybe we could dance for him.
I mean, we do a good dance. It might work.
Have you closed the front door, out of mild curiosity?
Or I didn't come in last. You
Yeah, I came in
last.
first, so.
I was last. I would say Ezmerelda probably wouldn't,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
because exit, you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
close exits.
Absolutely not. The door hinges inward. That may or may not be relevant information. Makes notes. Is suspicious. So, Trish, you've been quiet for a little minute. What, do you do anything?
I'm gonna have a look around, a perception check, see if I notice anything that could be useful.
Are you perceiving or are you investigating if you are looking to find useful things?
I guess I could do investigating instead.
Mm-hmm.
Got a 16.
16. Investigating the barrels and crates, you find nothing of any significant use. But I think possibly the only thing that does sort of jump out at you as, this is odd, like this was a fancy wizard's tower. The contents of these crates are very plain rags, like the remains of rotten food. Yeah, just vendor trash. It is. Yeah, everything in this would be pretty much worthless. It doesn't appear that anything valuable was ever stored in these crates, or at least was the last time these crates were used. Nothing in them was valuable, of any significant value. There might have been foodstuffs, perishables, that sort of thing, but no gold, silver, nothing, no fine silks or clothing, just random crap, commoner stuff. But quite a bit of it. There's quite a lot of empty crates, and the bulk of them are mostly empty. You also notice, I suppose, that, again, fancy wizard, bare walls, no furniture, main floor, or the ground floor of his tower.
Okay.
Did we blitz goal? Did I not notice?
Oh,
Quite substantially.
yeah, wow.
What the
Nice.
fudge? Not only did we blitz goal, we blitzed our last year's total as well. Amazing. Thank you so very much. Gonna value the person's anonymity. One person dropped a huge amount. Incredible. I am blown away. That's absolutely amazing. $2,469 dues, guys. In 28 hours. I'm pretty happy with that effort, guys. Thank you so very much. You bloody champion. I'm going to give the entire party inspiration in honor of that achievement.
Can we stack?
Yes, you can stack them. So everybody's got at least one. Everybody has one, and everybody except Pesh has two. So there you are. What do you do?
All right. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do two things. First thing is I'm going to take one of the crates, preferably one that doesn't contain anything smelly. I'm gonna stomp it to bits to get some just shards of wood.
Uh-huh.
Once I've got some bundled wood, I'm gonna go up to these statues and I'm gonna say, statues, if you are in any way conscious, can you please tell me what in the sweet, ever-loving fuck is going on here? And I wait for a response.
I mean, that was polite.
It was reasonably polite. You receive no response. Why did you get the wood? Why did you break the wood? What was the intention of
You're
that?
gonna find out in a minute.
Okay.
You're gonna find out in a minute.
All right.
Are you
I
going to
get no
throw things at
response?
things again?
I get no response.
You do
I'm
not
gonna
get any
start
response.
hucking pieces of wood at these
Oh, for
statues.
fuck's sake. That
So
didn't go as Trish. I'm like, that didn't.
No one's doing anything. I don't have spells.
So you try asking them for an answer, and then when that doesn't work, you attack them. Okay.
Yes.
Just gonna quickly
Someone
Google.
stop me.
Seems
I mean,
legit.
I am going to definitely try and stop you.
Okay, if you try to stop me, I will stop.
Fantastic.
Play Golem
Does someone have a better
5e.
idea? Because I do not know what else to do.
All right. well,
Remind me again why I chose to bring you guys and not the-
hey, I got you through the door, mate. And we're just not going to throw things at anything again. All right? That didn't go so well. New strategy. All right.
Just gonna
I'm
sit
gonna-
on the floor.
Where?
We're right where I am, in front of them.
Okay. In the middle of
Looking
the
up.
four of them?
No.
Okay,
Just
that
in
was
front of
that was why
the
I'm asking.
cluster.
They're not clustered. There is a 10-foot square thing in between them, and they are at the corners of it.
Right.
all right.
And they're 10 foot tall and holding the chain, right? So
Yes.
the point of which they're gripping the chain sort of out of our reach.
Yeah, it's about 10, 12 feet off the ground. It also looks like if you try to pull the chain does not move through their hands.
Mhm. Yeah.
It is,
Well,
yeah.
It's got, like, just kind of like jingle one of the chains. It's like, do you mind? May I? Is this just kind of like nothing?
They do not respond at all.
All right. Well, I'm starting to think these might just be statues, guys.
All right then. And I'm gonna walk up onto the platform.
Uh-huh. Nothing appears to happen.
Could we go up, please?
All four begin to move, pulling the chains. And Celinox
Everyone
starts going.
Celinox is doing like a hell happy like fluff with her feathers. Like she's like, yeah, like 2-0.
And Trish hates it.
I'll just gonna quickly jump on as well. So, oh, I'm glad no one did anything irrational. We got...
Trish, do you go or stay?
I'm going.
Gets up, jumps on platform. Platform continues to ascend. It stops at the second floor. Like the you ascend through. It is not an easy thing to stay on. They are not. It's 4 clay golems, and they are clay golems. Each with 133 hit points that would have gotten angry if you'd thrown shit at them. You crank your way up through into this first floor. And I shall read what you find up there. Dust and cobwebs fill this otherwise empty room, the wooden floor of which is badly rotted and partially collapsed. You are standing on the platform in the center of it, and they bring you to a stop roughly in the spot. It's not a lift. It is not Otis. You are just going, and there's about a couple of inches. I'm like, oh, okay, I think we can probably get off here if you want to. But you did not give them very specific instructions, so they just sent you up.
So it keeps going?
You stop at that first floor, but you could ask
okay.
again.
Yeah, okay. Cheers, fellas. Is this our stop? Or...
They are still down below as well. They did not come with. They are based on the ground floor.
Oh,
but
cheers, fellas. And then is this our stop is addressed to our group, not the
Sure.
statues.
Yeah. This artist is going to look around. Mr. Richten!
You hear no response.
Maybe next floor.
No one wants to. Nah, okay. Sorry, mates. Could we go up one more, please?
Clank, 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 clank.
Thanks.
The problem is they just respond to very specific instructions, and they only have one thing that they do. The book is very specific about it, which is why I was a dick about it. I was like, nope. So you crank up one more floor. Time and the elements have all but destroyed this chamber, leaving a gash in the northwest wall and slimy black puddles of mildew on the walls. The wooden floor is completely rotted and has begun to fall away in places. The eastern wall features a handsome wardrobe, completely at odds with its surroundings. The feet are claws, like the claw with the ball in between, those ones. Resting on the floor, and a mirror is inlaid in the center of the door. The distance between the platform that you are standing on and the wardrobe or any of the walls around it would be 20 feet. There you are.
Mr. Richten! Van?
He is not hiding in the closet.
Yeah, but you never know. Is this the floor with the hole leading to the scaffolding, or is that?
There is, yes.
Might step off and just look out the hole and just check on the caravan.
I think this is a Trish check. Trish, can you make me a perception check? Or survival if it's better.
Ooh, perception.
Mm-hmm.
26.
Trish, this floor probably won't take Arthur's weight.
I'm gonna just grab the back of his armor and be like, I don't know, I feel like termites have been here, man. Maybe don't. I don't trust this floor.
It's mostly the elements coming in through the hole in the wall have just eaten away at the floor. You, Trish, with a 26, you could probably get there, but you'd have to be very careful about where you put your feet. is the trick. And Arta is, I don't want to say he's a fat guy, but he's a big, heavily armored strig. He's probably not a lightweight dude.
Also carrying a log.
Exactly.
And carrying a big log. Yeah, there is that as well. Let's not forget that. So, yeah, there is a very fancy wardrobe on this floor and nothing else that you can see.
That's mildly suspicious. Anyone want to look at it?
I'm going to gently
kind of.
toss a piece of wood onto it to see if it explodes if it lands on it.
On top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Trish, Dex check.
$23.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to roll a dice for no particular reason. Nothing happens. There is a clunk of wood meeting wood. You would seem the wardrobe is hollow.
Okay.
Not unsurprising. Like,
And I'm gonna, for a second time, not that it'll probably do anything, open up my magical awareness and see if there's anything suspect about the wardrobe.
Trish, now that you're inside the building, you feel as if magic itself doesn't work in here. You sense zero magic at all in any direction. And you are aware that you have magic on you. Like, your Emberlance is magic. It's not right now.
Did I get that same sense when I was in the Bone Grinder? Like, when
No.
everything was an illusion? No?
No. This is an anti-magic field.
Guys, I want to test something. Does anyone know a spell?
When know a couple.
Could you do one for me, please? Like a non-lethal. Like, my friend used to do the magic hand. Can you do the magic hand?
Magic hat.
Little ghost hand.
Oh no.
Oh.
I mean, I can do magic with my hands. All right. How about this one? Trying to find one that's actually. Oh, you know what? Does anyone look particularly singed from the lightning earlier?
Oh, I think Celinox.
I'm a little singed. Not like badly, but bit singed.
All right. Don't move. I'm going to do the magic hand. He's going to just like clap his talons together and give him a rub, and then just go, and then try and cast Cure Wounds on the burn.
And regardless of how hard you try, the spell fizzles out in your talons, and you just cannot summon. Who is your deity?
Kyrith.
Ooh, okay, cool. And yeah, you just cannot summon the energy of your god through yourself to empower your healing. It's like your connection with them has just been cut off. Ever since you got to Barovia, you felt that it's a little attenuated, but now it is just gone.
I guess he's just standing there, just awkwardly with his hands on Celinox.
That normally works.
It's getting awkward, mate.
It usually works.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're in some kind of magic dead zone, except for, I guess, whoever runs the show. I can't see any magic, and I usually can. And you can't do whatever you were trying to do there. So, that's a factor.
All right. Would that impact on Van Richten? I look at
Ezmerelda would
when I
know
say that.
that he was a magic user. It wasn't his sort of primary skill set. Like her, he would be qualified a part caster. But yeah, he definitely knew magic. It's probably where she learned hers.
I would say it would. He did know some spells.
All right. Well,
But it's interesting he hide in place that makes it so spells cannot be used against him, but also he cannot use any to help him.
Ezmerelda, make me an intelligence check.
I shall. When I get there. Well, that worked.
Did it?
I'm using inspiration.
Yep. Might be relevant.
That's better. 17.
17. Alrighty. Ezmerelda, you and Van Richten particularly were aware that Strahd is in his domain near deity level, like omniscient. So hiding out in a place where no magic can be, including scrying magic, in a world where you know the guy who you are hunting knows you are hunting him and is hunting you in return, this would make a very sensible place to hide, in fact. It makes total fucking sense. However, you also know that Van Richten was not capable of this kind of magic. This is probably a Kazov thing.
This magic definitely not Van Richten. But makes sense he would hide here. Forget what I said earlier.
All right. Well, is anyone going to check? Anyone who on the lighter side going to check the cupboard?
Are you speaking about my size?
I was speaking about the fact that myself and Arda here are probably too large for it. Definitely my largeness, and not.
You speaking about my size?
Yeah, I mean, can we just?
I'm kidding. I just like to see you squirm.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. Yep. Well done. You got me.
I know, Serum, I agree completely. They have the generosity today in the last 28 hours has been absolutely amazing. Celinox fatphobic confirmed. Yeah.
I was calling myself that.
That was walking it back. We all know. All right. So, Ezmerelda, are you going to go over to the chest? Not the chest. The wardrobe. Yeah.
Oh, this is a bad idea.
Is it? Might just be nothing. It could be a red earring.
I mean, if it tries to eat you, we'll pull you out. Maybe. Hopefully.
Well, I will tie myself with rope. That way you can pull a bit easier. And I will go and yes, I will knock on the door.
Love it. So you're going to wrap a piece of rope around your waist. Who are you going to give it to? The other end.
Celinox is going to go to say something and then be like,
No, not taking that one. Just one more person. Celinox cannot just talk her mind around. Take care, D20. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. It's been a pleasure having you, mate. Take care. Sleep well.
After you pull me back, yes?
Hands rope. Ezmerelda, make me a, want to say, dex save. Or acrobatics if it's better.
They're the same. It literally makes no difference. Nat 20, baby!
Nat 20!
Well, 23 total.
For 23. Very, very freaking nice. You make it safely over there. You sort of nimbly jump, skipping and jumping over to the wardrobe. And you go to knock on the door?
Apparently.
Apparently. Okay. Well, can you all please roll me initiative? As the part of the ornamental carvings on the front of it blink open.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we're not in combat yet. Can I just Pull me back, pull me back.
You are in threat with it, and it is like it is about to eat you, or is about to nom you. As part of the first round of combat, you can absolutely say, pull me back, and attempt to disengage. However, other things occur because I imagine everyone's attention is on this. However, let's have a perception check before you actually roll me initiative, unless you already have.
My perception is 4 because
4,
I'm
great.
distracted.
A little bit, focused on something else.
12.
12 perception. I would say Ezmerelda doesn't need to roll this one, but Arthur?
9%.
9. All right, Trish, behind you, you hear a slap of something dropping off the wall.
I turn around. Do I see it?
A large black puddle has moved. And we will roll initiative. So, yes, let's have a Trish, Arthur, Ezmerelda, Celinox, Mick. And I will roll a couple of d20s. 3. These are not rolling well. And a 13. At most. And I know what the mimic's dexterity is. Oh, wow, yeah. The ooze got a 0 for its initiative. While the mimic got a 14. How did the rest of you do? Ezmerelda, how do you do?
13.
A 13. That tracks. That kind of makes sense. Rachel, how'd you go?
14.
14. Love it. And your dex is definitely higher than the mimic's, so you would get to go before the mimic. I would say you all approach this with a degree of caution sufficient to not be surprised by the combat, so it's not a surprise round that the mimic gets. Arthur.
A 14.
14 as well. You will go after Trish, but before the mimic, I suspect. What is your dex mod?
+2.
Excellent. Yes, you go before the mimic. It has a +1. Roe.
9.
9. Okay. So the order is Trish, Arthur, Mimic, Ezmerelda, Celinox, the ooze. And we will go for a short brakelet there, and come right back for this little combat that we may have sprung on them. You fell for my cheeky trap. Never mind.
And it was so obvious too.
But it's too obvious. I was banking on the it's too obvious. It can't be a trap because it's so obviously a trap. Alrighty. Well, we will go away from here and be back in 5 to 10. So say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey guys, Josh the Pirate here. I just wanted to take a quick moment and actually talk about the charity that we're actually raising money for today because, yeah, we're having a great time. We're having loads of fun. Amazing creatives have pledged their time. Incredible sponsors have pledged their support. But we actually haven't talked a lot about who Childhood Cancer Support actually is, what they do. So I thought I'd just give you a quick lowdown on that. Childhood Cancer Support focuses on a different area of the cancer process than a lot of other charities. In Australia, a lot of people live rural. There is something like 20% of the population live outside of cities. And in a country where 95% of the surface area is rural, that could mean quite a long trek to get to any hospital facilities or anything like that. So childhood cancer support is actually all about that element of it, about supporting people through one of the hardest things that a parent or a family can ever go through with a child. So childhood cancer support, the 3 primary things they do: free family unit accommodation for families that travel in to get treatment, free hospital and airport transfers, so they just take the hassle out of it, and on-site mental health support, counseling and social support services, all of which hugely important. I imagine when your kid is that sick, you don't have time for your social life, you don't have time for your own mental health. It's all about the kid. So having this charity that also supports that is incredibly important, and I think really valuable. So yeah, that's what they're for. Thanks very much. That's ahoy and good day, mateys. We are back for the final part of our International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day charity marathon. Thank you so hecking much to everyone who has donated so far. We have smashed that goal. We are at $2,500 dues. Think of the amazing number of people we will be able to help with that, and the childhood cancer support will be able to help with all that money. Incredible, guys. That is not just that would have been our second stretched goal. But why change it for the last 2 hours? But also that is $150 clear of what we managed last year as well. So it absolutely blows me away. It fills my heart with joy to be surrounded by so many incredibly generous, giving, kind people, because kindness is all that I am about here. It is the most important thing you can do and be, and seeing so much of it in this last day has really reinvigorated my hope in humanity. So thank you so much. Toward that, let me see if I can kill some players with a mimic and an ooze. So here we go. First up, I believe it is Trish Caper. Trish, your magic weapons are not so magical anymore, but you are on one side of you, across 20 feet of rickety broken floorboards, is a large tarry black oozy creature slowly gooping its way towards you. On the other side of you is a large wardrobe that just blinked menacingly at Ezmerelda. What do you do?
I will take the longest of my pieces of kindling, and I want to poke it, and I want to see, does it get stuck? Is it going to provoke the thing? What do I learn from poking with a stick?
The ooze, I assume.
The ooze. I'm facing
okay.
the ooze.
You are 20 feet away from the ooze at this point. Getting close enough to poke it with even the longest bit of stick would require getting at least 10 feet closer. Which would be a dexterity check to not fall through the rafters of this very poorly maintained floor.
Well, then plan B, I'm going to huck a piece of wood at it.
Love it. You huck a piece of wood at it. Make a dex-based attack, please.
9.
You don't miss because its AC is very low. But basically, the wood clatters off it. It's like you're just throwing it at the floor. The ooze itself is very liquid, so it really just sort of. It sort of splashes into it. You do notice at the edges of the wood a hissing noise and sound, like the thing that you threw the wood into is acidic.
Uh-huh. Good to know.
Not necessarily. Do you do anything else? I would call that an attack action. You would have a bonus action.
Bonus action huck a second piece of wood?
If you like, sure, why not?
I'd love to.
You huck
with a bit
second
more
piece
force this time.
Okay,
Look,
as in,
I'm
like with the
conducting a
intention of
science experiment.
hurting it. Okay, right. Are you aiming to hurt it? I was assuming the first one
know.
probably wouldn't do any damage. The second one could.
Is it sentient? Is it gonna get mad at me? That's what I want to know.
Okay, yeah, you're trying to determine if you are enraging it by trying to enrage it. Okay, throw another log.
Will do. 11.
Meanwhile, Ezmerelda is looking at a malicious wardrobe. An 11. Yeah, with a little bit more force, you can roll me a d4 if you like. For reason the aggressive, angry music has stopped. 4. A 4. Wow. Okay, max damage. No, that's no, not that one. Come on, battle music. There we go. Right. Yeah, once again, the piece of wood lands in it and begins hissing as it is dissolved. However, this thing, whatever it is, did not care for it, and you hear the sort of a sucking, suppurating as the rudimentary form of a mouth sort of rears up, almost kind of like a tidal wave, like as it does not react positively to what you did.
Okay, good to know.
Excellent. Do you do anything else? Are you going to just stay where you are on the platform?
I'm staying where I am.
Splendid. Excellent. All right. Then it is Arta.
I think Arta grew up not far from the mock field, so if the DM agrees, then he's well aware that slimes sense things through tremor sense. He's gonna just walk to the edge of the platform and start hitting his log on the edge of the floor. He's like,
Oh, hell yeah.
Go on, over here. Go on, you know you want a piece of this. Come on.
I would point out that you were holding a rope attached to Ezmerelda with the specific intention of... I love what you're doing. It's a great idea. It just doesn't seem to be achieving the goal it was set out to achieve.
Yeah, he wants to lure the slime towards him and away from the other party members. So.
Splendid. Ezmerelda, the rope is still held by Arta, but he is not pulling you away from the thing that you were up in the grill of. Arta, yeah, you have thoroughly distracted this ooze. It is oozing towards you now. Yeah.
All right.
That would be... I will give that as a free action, if you like.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, in that case, then he'll definitely try to assist Ezmerelda as well.
Okay, cool. Because I'm seeing Elibee just like, oh, for fuck's sake. So what do you do?
I guess he'll just grab the rope and just give it, just maximum effort, big tug.
Excellent. Make an athletics check.
Ooh, I'm gonna burn my inspiration, I think.
Love it.
No.
Excellent. Cool.
It was a 12. Well, it's a little bit better. It's a 14.
14. 14 would be sufficient to yeet this small but sturdy Gerbine lady back away from the angry wardrobe that she is facing down. It is forced movement, so it does not get an opportunity attack, which is smart of you, very clever, well done. Ezmerelda, with disadvantage, a dexterity save, please, to manage to not be dragged onto a weakened piece of floor. You are not pulled the full 20 feet back. I will say you are pulled 14 feet back away from the wardrobe.
My save was 13.
13.
Would that bring her in range of
I believe it does, actually, technically speaking.
Yeah.
So that makes it 16. You were pulled just into range of the cleansing lovely field of the paladin, which I'm going to say, because it's a sort of faith thing, it's not truly magic, it's not suppressed by the anti-magic field. So, yeah, you manage to, you are not pulled onto your butt, so you manage to keep your feet, and it's sort of like retracing your steps very rapidly, quick hot-footing it back across these rafters. You do not fall over, nor do you plummet to your doom through the rafters, though you are being held by a rope, so you probably wouldn't fall to your death anyway. It's only 40 feet, you'll be fine. So, that is Arthur's turn, unless he has some moving to do, but I don't think he really wants to go anywhere. There's only 10 feet to go.
No, he's gonna remain where he is. Yeah.
Excellent. Then it's the Mimic's turn, and the Mimic, and this all has happened extremely rapidly. I think Ezmerelda had gotten there, knocked on the door, and looked up to see the blinking eyes just as Arta yanked her back, while Trish was poking the ooze on the other side, what's this now? And so the Mimic, the door flops open, and it is ringed with teeth, rows upon rows, like a sarlacc pit or possibly a worm of Arrakis. Teeth, all the way. It's teeth all the way down. Yes, it more just hinges open, like horizontally as well. It's very odd. However, the eyes are up the top, and you know how you walk a bookcase into a corner? It is starting, the wardrobe starts walking toward you across the rickety floorboards. It is, however, moving at half speed because it is moving very deliberately to be safe from falling through them. It is placing itself... It's like it knows this room very, very well and is placing itself only on the structurally strong points. However, it is unable, due to its very low movement speed, to keep up with you. Because it's moving at half speed, its speed is 7 feet around. So it doesn't even manage to get within 5 feet of you, so it is unable to attack you. So it's going to dash, bringing itself to right next to you. However, that's it. It is once again right up in your grill. It's chomping at you all the way. It is, however, now Ezmerelda's turn.
As an artificer,
Yes.
all of my stuff's magic.
A lot of it, yep.
So this is not helpful.
Look, I didn't say it was smart to go in here. It was just fun.
So, I think before she does anything, all of her weapons are essentially melee.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's not going to attack. She's going to jump back onto the lovely
The
platform.
nice, safe platform. Yep.
Yes.
Excellent. Calling that a
Um,
disengage so you don't get opportunity attacked.
Yes, please.
Very smart, very smart. You can still do a bonus action if you like, but that is your move and your action.
I would like to help Roe.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah.
with your Gerbine help ability.
Yes.
Ah,
I
love it. The orientation I have in my head, if I was to draw a square, each of you occupying a 5-foot part of that square, Mimic here, Celinox here, Ezmerelda there, Trish there, and Ooze over here, and Arta there. So if I hold that up, you can see. Does that make sense? So Celinox and Ezmerelda on the Mimic side of the thing, and Arta and Trish are on the Ooze side of the platform. So Ezmerelda, what does it look like when you help Celinox? How do you help her?
Oh, I think this time it's just gonna be Celinox, do something.
You're a monster hunter, you know a bit about these things, so you could maybe identify a weak point or something like that. But I love that it's just, do it, kill it, what are you waiting for? Speaking of waiting for, Celinox, it's your turn. You have advantage on your first attack because of help.
How fast was the platform moving when it moved?
Not super. You would guess it would probably take, in game terms, about 4 rounds to get to the next floor.
All right.
Which is mechanically, like, in-world, about 24 seconds. It's not a long ride, but it is not fast enough to be mechanically useful in this situation necessarily. You could start the process now, though.
Yeah, so the mimic is within 5 feet of me?
It is about 10 feet. Like, you would have to move a little closer to it. There is mechanically a 5-foot gap between you and it. If you wanted to melee it, but you could shoot it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna shoot it with my crossbow, please.
Do so. Make a ranged attack.
18 to hit.
18 to hit.
Sorry. Did you say I have advantage on the first one?
You do.
So I'm
I
going
will
to go
tell you
again.
for free an 18 does hit, but you can
Yeah, but I'll
yes,
see
roll
if I
again.
can get a... Nah, so 18 it is.
Very well. Roll some damage.
6 damage.
6 damage on the first. You have extra attack?
I do. But I can't use my crossbow again, can I? Because I'd have to reload it.
That is true. I believe it is a bonus action to reload it. So you can shoot, bonus action reload, shoot again, but you won't be able to then shoot it next turn. But next turn you may not want to.
No, I probably don't. Would you let me call down to the people, to the things as
Yep.
would that be a bonus action, an action, or a free action?
That is a free action, technically.
Okay, sweet. So I'm going to shoot it with my crossbow again.
Do
So
it.
use the bonus action to reload and then shoot it again with the crossbow.
Love it.
21 to hit.
Does.
And that is 4 damage.
Another 4.
Not rolling particularly well. That's a D10. And as I'm
I feel your
shooting,
pain.
I'm going to call out and be like, "One more level up, please, mates! On quick, if possible."
Very well. You do that. I love the politeness, even in extremis.
I mean, Celinox is convinced that that's part of...
Oh, she's probably right. I wouldn't want to put it to a test. You and the lift does start to move, and on turn 20 of every round, you will ascend 3 feet. Or 5 feet, actually, technically, because it's a 20-foot room. But that will begin next round. The oozes over to you. It has been attracted to Arthur, so it is going to ooze towards him. You know how when you see something like slimy sliding down a wall, it's like that, but it's doing it laterally along the floor. It's sort of this, like just large chunky bits of jelly sliding across the floor towards you, occasionally making mouth shapes as it comes towards you. And it glides, oozes over to Arthur, and it is going to attempt to pseudopod you, Arthur. Probably not going to succeed. Oh, actually, an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Does,
that hits.
in fact,
That's
hit.
on the money.
Splendid. Yeah, wow, I did not expect to hit the paladin. Okay, the D6 bludgeoning damage,
Only
3
took a breastplate.
bludgeoning damage, plus 4 D8. Ooh, pair of 8s. A 5 and a 6. Oof, okay, it's 16. 24... 29 points of acid damage. 29 acid damage and 3 bludgeoning damage. As this thing sort of clamps down on, I want to say, your left shoulder. It's like, oh, you wanted me to come to you? All right, I'll come to you, buddy. What's up? You now have a -1 penalty to your AC, as you feel parts of your armor start to melt under this thing's touch.
Ooh, yeah, he's trying to be stoic about it. He's like,
It is there, at the edge of the platform, and then you feel the platform start to clank up as the golems once again begin pulling the lever up. However, whilst the wardrobe appears to be being left behind, the ooze is very much sort of starting to invade, in the manner of a liquid, the platform itself. So there's no getting away from the ooze, but you might manage to ditch the mimic. And we go back to the top of the order. Trish, it is your turn. Arthur, right next to you, is being bludgeoned by an ooze.
Right. Well, seeing this completely unwarranted attack on my ally, I'm going
Yeah.
to go into a barbarian rage.
Excellent, I love it. You didn't start this.
And then I'm going to try and get the ooze off by smacking it with my Ember Lance in kind of a scrape off kind of motion.
Ah, okay. Right. Love it. Make an attack action. Ooh.
One question first. Do I wild magic in this place?
No.
No, okay. Fair
That's
enough.
a good question. Thank you for asking it, and I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough.
Normally, and it's probably a bit weird. You're like, "Ugh, wait, I should be tingling. Why am I not tingling? Damn it! It's the one magic I know. The magic of anger. Trish chooses violence.
I got a 12.
Trish, a 12 does hit.
Fabulous.
I'm actually pretty sure you have to roll a 1 to miss, and that's only because Baldur's Gate rules 1s always miss.
Alright, I got an 11, and then sneak attack because I'm next to an ally.
Very true.
10 for the sneak.
10 for the sneak.
21.
21 non-magical slashing or piercing.
I feel like this is a slashing motion.
Okay, very well.
Like a get off.
Interesting. I love it. Amazing. Sorry, how much damage?
21.
21. You cleave this thing in twain.
Oh, nice.
And one half of it, basically, it's like, when you're frying eggs, and the eggs sort of muddle together and become one big egg instead of two little eggs, and you use the spatula to just sort of slice them up the middle. You do that with the Ember Lance. But both sides don't seem overly incommoded by it. In fact, one half is now very much attacking you, while the other is continuing to try and nom Arta. Trish, you would guess that you have done absolutely no injury to this at all.
Okay.
Other than, you have actually halved its hit points, but doubled the number of enemies.
Okay.
I feel like Rach is like, I hate this fucking place. It just uses its reaction as well. I should say that is its reaction split. When a pudding that is medium or larger is subjected to lightning or slashing damage, it splits into two new puddings. That is at least, if it has at least 10 hit points left. It does, so it did.
Okay.
And they both are one size class smaller. These are now medium-sized creatures, and they have each. Anything else? Oh, Meeples and Dragons are raiding us. Thank you very much for the raid, Meeples and Dragons, you bloody champions. Raid. Favorite raid emotes up in chat, guys. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bringing your lovely peeps. I appreciate the heck out of it. We are having a International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day charity marathon. Yes, I have stolen one of your people. Elibee is here now. Yes, if you feel you have any charity pennies in your digital wallet, please consider chucking them over at the donation link, what I have put up in chat. We have some incredible donors, including this company I heard about recently called Meeples and Dragons. They're kind of neat guys. They have donated over $150 worth of their online store vouchers to the prize pool, 3 $50 vouchers to acquire some gorgeous D&D accessories. So you might want to check out Meeples and Dragons at their Twitch channel or their website. Both excellent places to be. Roe is currently drinking from one of their glassware. It's a very pretty thing. It's one of the artificer glasses. Sorry, let us continue. Trish, do you have anything else you would like to do? A bonus action, for example? You have your
bonus
stabby
actions
dagger.
to rage, so...
Oh, I do apologize. You did do that. You did do that. Thank you very much, Meeples and Dragons. Very kind. Thank you very much, Trish. All right, Arta, with the Mimicon deck.
Yes.
Although not for much longer.
Arta, just reeling from his acid burns, is just going to bring his log down just in a vertical smushing attack against the closest ooze.
Excellent. Bludgeoning damage it is. Smack that thing. So is your weapon a log?
Yeah, it's a great club function.
Great club. Amazing. Love it. Yeah. Good log, baby.
Ooh, 26 to hit.
26. Given that you need a 7, yes.
Question: Does his divine smite function in this?
I had to Google this one just now. No, I'm afraid divine smite does not work. It said very specifically.
Yep, fair enough. That's 5 bludgeoning damage. Then.
Excellent.
And he's gonna go. He's gonna go for a second.
It's very much still up. Yeah. It's like you're trying to scrape ooze off a kitchen window or something. I don't know why kitchen window, but like it's really hard to get all of it. You're just like, get off with. It's not the tool for the job, but it is working.
19 to hit on the second attack.
19 to hit does.
And 9 bludgeoning damage.
9 bludgeoning damage. That's a bit better. Yeah. There is a wet squelch as you bring it down the second time, this fence post. In fact, I think what you do, the first one, you bring it down and it doesn't take a huge amount of damage, so you flip it up and you're now just prodding it with the end with a good degree of force. So this is flat mallet. And you're just like Play-Dohing it. And a good splatter of it. Now, mechanically, this is supposed to damage the weapon, but I don't see how acid can materially impact the potential of this great piece of wood into making it a less efficient bludgeoning tool. So I'm not going to say that it works. It doesn't, I don't think it works at all. I also didn't make it affect Trish's thing because it says it only does it when you do damage to the creature. The creature took no damage, so Trish's weapon isn't injured by touching the thing. But be aware, that can happen. Mimic time, unless you have a bonus action, Pesh.
No bonus actions. So.
Very well. Mimic time. The Mimic is a decent-sized creature and will make one attempt to grapple its intended prey with its tongue. The maw opens up and the tongue reaches out, trying to slobbily find you on this ascending platform. So it is going to make a grapple attack, a pseudopod. Ooh, a 14. Not good. Ezmerelda, I'm just getting Return of the Jedi images in my head of these pseudopods coming out of the Sarlacc. It's like, no. Working your way back on your ass away from it. It's like, get away. And the tongue just sort of flops down and sort of feels around for you. It's like staggers blindly, the eyes peering up over the top. It's like the worst variation of Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast with body horror. The Mimic did not manage to do anything with its attack. However, that would mean it is Ezmerelda's turn. It is now in threat with you, Ezmerelda.
Fantastic. Exactly what I wanted.
Stab it with your sword.
Oh, but I have a hand axe.
Axe might be better. It is wooden. I mean, it's not, but it sort of is.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking hand axe. So,
cool.
Let's try that, shall we?
Love it. Make an attack.
That is a 22.
22 does hit, yes.
Okie dokie. And it will take 3 slashing damage.
3 slashing damage. Very well.
Yep.
Nice. Anything else? Any bonus actions you would like to try? Celinox is on deck.
Yeah, I'm thinking let's.
The deck is slowly rising.
Yeah.
Okay. The help action again?
For the help, yes. This time I'm probably going to throw it at Arthur.
Yep,
Yes.
sure. In what manner do you help Arthur?
Arthur, those burns don't hurt, right?
Oh, no, no, it's just well, it's obviously a flesh wound, but it's fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine. Very well. Then it is Celinox. Arthur, you have advantage on your next attack.
I am going to turn and attack the thing that's on Trish. Because
Yeah.
I don't want it on her.
That's fair. It might be a bit of a squeeze, but I'll allow it. Just sort of the three of you sort of lining up in a 10-foot space. Of like, stop it.
Yeah, can I? Yeah, I'm going
With
to kind of
which
go around.
weapon do you utilize?
I'm going to use my rapier.
Your rapier. Excellent, okay. Make a rapier attack. Basically, don't roll a 1.
16.
You do. You hit. Stab it.
Yeah, that's better. 15 damage for that one.
And this is a piercing weapon?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Thrust! 15 damage. Nice. Do you want to do it again?
I would like to do it again. Yes, please.
Then you should be aware that as you stab into this creature, a creature that touches the pudding or hits it with a melee attack while within 5 feet of it takes 1d8 acid damage. So you get a little splatter of acid from you from this first attack. You take 1 acid damage. They're rolled very poorly. These dice really like you guys. Any non-magical weapon made of metal or wood that hits the pudding corrodes. After dealing damage, the weapon takes a permanent and cumulative -1 penalty. Currently, this weapon is not magical. It can't be in this field. So you take a -1 to the weapon, which means all weapon attack and damage rolls are at -1.
So just like I've got a +10, so it'll be a +9.
Yes.
Am I gonna notice that happen to my sword?
Almost immediately, yes. You notice the acid, I'm going to say a small speck of acid lands on your cheek and sizzles into your feathers a little bit. And then as you pull it back, you notice that your blade is also coated in this nasty black sheen. And you can hear a hissing noise on the metal.
Oh, yeah, you! She's gonna not hit with her sword again. But she's not thinking particularly clearly. So she's just gonna, with the other, she's so pissed off, she's gonna, with her other claw, instead of grabbing another weapon, just like
Ooh.
punch it in the face. So my second attack is a unarmed strike.
Amazing, yes. That is actually a really good solution. You heal the wound, the sword does not.
Yeah,
yes.
I fucking love this sword.
Yeah, fair. How much damage do you do? I mean, don't roll a 1.
23 to hit.
You do.
And 6.
6. Pretty good.
What's the other ad that I have on Talons? I might get a... Oh, no, but that's a different one. I've got an unarmed, and I've also got a Talons attack.
They're basically the same, I think.
Well, because my Talons is a 1d4 plus 5, but my unarmed is a d6. Oh, no, it's just like a straight 6. It's not even a roll. That's weird.
Yeah, that's because an unarmed attack does 1 damage plus your strength modifier. So it does 6 damage.
Oh, right, okay. But the other one has a roll for some. So anyway, 6.
Because your claws are far more dangerous than just being punched by a fist.
Right.
So you have a potential to do more damage, and at least the same amount. So yeah, you do another 6 points of damage to this thing. It reels back from you as you punch it in the face. However, your hand burns as you take 5 acid damage from hitting it. It feels like you put your hand in a fire. And that's the Ooze's turn, I think. And whilst Trish did it a solid by cutting it in half and making it two of itself, Celinox has enraged it by punching it a bunch. So it's going to attack Celinox.
Well, they punched it once.
It got a 19 on the dice, plus 5, so 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which means it's going to pseudopod you. For 1d6 plus 3, that's 8 bludgeoning damage. Plus... These are the big ones again. Oh, 9 and... Oh, a further 11. So 20 acid damage and... What do we say? 8 bludgeoning. So 28 points of damage all up. And Celinox, your armor is reduced in efficiency by a -1.
Fuck up. Sword and the armor. You.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a bad word there.
Definitely a naughty word. Yep. Very well. Anything? Oh, what am I doing? It's the other one attacking Arta. So see if I can roll well again. Ooh, a 17. I think is your new AC, right?
Was Arta's armor affected?
Damaged by
Well?
1. Yeah.
And it is, yeah.
Oh.
That's on the money.
12 on the dice plus 5. Okay, this is gonna hurt. That is a further 7 bludgeoning damage and 11. Not quite as bad as last time. 11, 12, 17, 24 all up. 17 of which is acid. As this second one is trying to get at you. It both are looking like a lot of their mass has been bludgeoned away, and is starting to coat the floor around the raising platform. However, yeah, they are both still quite active and angry. And we go back to the top of the order. It's Trish. Trish, you are standing in between Celinox and Arta. And may have frozen. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Alrighty.
I am curious to see what Trish's plan is here. And Rachel's internet has done that fun thing. Sorry, we may have missed what you just said. Yes, you've gone a bit robotic. I missed all of that, my dear, I'm afraid. Robot
Okay.
Trish. Oh, here we go. Yeah? Hmm?
If I was audible. Okay. Seeing how slicing it clearly was not the move, I'm going to try and spear it with my Ember Lance.
Excellent.
And I've got a 12.
A 12 does hit. Which one are you attacking? The one that's on Celinox, that was on you as well? Or is it on Arta?
The one on Celinox.
Okay, very well. Smart.
So damage, that's 11 plus sneak would be 7. So 18 total.
Piercing damage. Trish,
And then I will offhand dagger.
how do you do this?
I literally just go for center mass, stab, flick. Just off.
Yeah, and it flies in a neat parabola through the air. The remains of it are surprisingly cohesive as you jab your Ember Lance in and then use it like a shovel to just yeet the thing off the platform, and it lands with a wet slap about 15 feet away and begins seeping through the floorboards, vaguely acidic. Trish, your weapon is also burning a little bit. You take a small amount of, well, actually quite a bit, 7 acid damage from this as a splash hits you up the side, and your arm is caught. Some of the fur on your arm is burnt by this. And yes, you can see the etching on your weapon's blade is sort of cut into. Some nasty pock marks on the blade itself are eaten by this acid. Giving it a cumulative -1.
Well, that sucks. Great. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna offhand dagger the one that's on Arthur.
Love it.
Stab it!
Make the attack. Don't roll a 1.
13!
You hit.
13. I did not roll a 1. And that's gonna be 7 damage.
7 damage. Lovely. Then it has taken some more damage. However, that +1 dagger is also burnt. And Trish, by the way, that's a further 2 acid damage. Neither of which you get to half, I'm afraid, because it's acid, not physical. And that's Trish's turn. Thank you very much. Arta, it is your turn. Gonna continue wailing on it with your
Not feeling
fence
too
post.
crash hot. Is like.
Ugh.
17 to hit.
Does 10 clear of what you needed? Yes.
Jack.
I appreciate
6
it.
bludgeoning damage.
6 for the first.
Yeah, and then he's gonna bring it up,
Do it.
and then he's gonna bring it down again.
Do it.
Assume a 21 hits.
It does. Yeah. Yes.
For 7 bludgeoning damage.
Oh. Arta, how do you do this?
Oh, he's gonna like one more like smush with like the blunt end. Well, it's all blunt with the long end, and then
Yep.
and then he's just gonna like bring it down, like flip it like 90 degrees, and then just bring the log down like lengthways in front of him,
Drop
and then
it.
just roll it out like a rolling pin and
Oh,
push it into
amazing.
the platform.
I love it. You rolling pin this thing off, and it's sort of like toothpaste in a tube. It all
Yeah,
sort of
just-
forms ahead and is forced off like a like a steamroller. Yeah, excellent. You managed to divest yourselves of these 2 oozes, both of which just fall and seem lifeless as they land on the badly corroded wooden floorboards. There is still a mimic, but the mimic can no longer reach you as you ascend beyond its grasp. So, yeah, getting back down might be difficult, but as you head on up, that is the end of combat, unless you guys want to take the remaining 2 turns to just stand on the edge of the platform shooting the mimic out of its reach.
Nah, I'm not
I'm just
fussed.
gonna bonus action sit down. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, Celinox is like cradling her rapier. It's okay, baby. I'm gonna get you fixed real soon.
Yep, you do that. Yeah, Trish, you may make me a scroungecraft check, which is, I believe, normally a sleight of hand.
Okay.
You're like, I wonder where this is going.
24.
24. Trish, you helped build this weapon that has been slightly damaged. Both your weapons, but the Ember Lance, you helped make it. You know that it is inherently magical. And when it's out of the magic field, the magic should return.
Oh, that's good.
So the damage on it may not be permanent.
Okay. Feel a little bit better about that, because that was a bummer. I like this lance.
I know. So you ascend into the upper floor. So just to be clear, none of you are actually going to take the opportunity. You get 2 rounds of just free wailing on the mimic. Jolly good. Okay, you are weirdly pacifistic towards the thing that tried to eat Ezmerelda. Ezmerelda, you're not going to shoot? Fine, absolutely. All right. So you...
I mean,
Oh,
it
you
might
do-
be Chet's cousin.
Chat would not appreciate that comparison. Unlike the levels below, this room shows signs of recent habitation. And although the place reeks of mold and mildew, this is overlaid with a pleasant incense. It has plenty. One that Ezmerelda knows Van Richten favors. It is sandalwood. It has plenty of creature comforts, including a cozy bed, a desk with a matching chair, bright tapestries, and a large iron stove with plenty of wood to feed it. The room is about 60 feet square, and it is a square room rather than a circular one, so it is a circular tower with a square, sort of slightly wider square structure on the top. Light enters through arrow slits as well as through dirt-caked windows with broken shutters. Other features of the room include a standing suit of armor, which would suit a servant, and a wooden chest. Old wooden rafters bend under the weight of the tower roof, which is somehow remained intact. Mounted to the rafters are the pulleys around which the iron chains hang that support the tower's elevator system that you are now emerging up through. You are in what Ezmerelda would suspect is Van Richten's bedroom.
Well, this is slightly nostalgic.
Anyone home?
There is no more than 3 places that a decent-sized individual could hide in here. Under the bed, in the single cupboard that is as dingy and decrepit as the rest of the building, and maybe behind the suit of armor if they stood in a very specific way. So, no is the answer.
Is the floor in this one is more sturdy, you said, yeah?
Yes. This is definitely, for some reason, probably like the one below, it was damaged by the elements. The roof is solid. There's maybe a couple of drips here or there, but nothing that you would guess. In fact, there is no drips. They have been repaired. Like it's never going to be the Ritz, but Van Richten, whoever lived in here, you would guess did so for at least a month.
Can I do an investigation check to look around and see if I can find any clues?
You all may, unless you want to do something else, make investigation check.
Arthur is going to still sitting on the lift. He's gonna attempt to lay on hands himself. Does it function in here?
I'm going to say yes. It is a class feature, not inherently magic. So in that one, yes. Smites are powered by spell slots, so no. But your lay on hands, yes.
All right. Yeah, he's gonna regain 40 hit points.
Jeez.
Paladins, man, they're so fucking good. That's not even all he can do. I believe he can do 45.
He's
but you keep 5 just in
someone
case.
Else gets it.
Yep, absolutely.
Does Ada look like considerably better?
Yeah, he's looking much better. Not 100%, but he's all right.
What does it look like when you do this?
Whoa, good point. I think he's similar to when he tried to cast the Cure Wounds earlier. He's sort of like going to rub his hands together. Maybe keep one hand on his breastplate on the impression of the antlers as he just sort of like runs his hand over his burns, and the wounds begin to sort of close up. Might be like a little bit of a green glow around the breastplate as he does it.
Okay. Awesome. Love it. Yes. Sweet. So, Celinox, how did you do investigation? And Ezmerelda and Trish, what are you doing? Bearing in mind, I cannot see the rolls today. I don't have that open.
I'm going to do a perception instead of an investigation because I'm not getting off this platform. And
Valid.
I've rolled a 23.
23 for a perception check. Roe, how'd you do?
I got a 14, but I reckon Cel's going to get a bit distracted by the fact that Ada got, healed real quick.
Yeah. You saw a glow. And I think Trish probably notices this as well, because you are perceiving the fuck out of this place. In this place where magic can't be done, you just saw someone do healing. And you've hung around with a cleric long enough to know what holy magic looks like, or holy healing looks like. But that ain't magic. It can't be.
Mate, don't suppose you got more than one of them in you? Celinox is not looking so good.
Oh, really? I didn't realize you were so. I knew you got hit, but I didn't think it was too bad.
I don't think I hit her as bad as I hit you, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, but yeah, no, she's no.
All right. Well, if it's
Hey, Tony.
if it pleases the DM, I might just retroactively save some of that. It was
You absolutely may.
all right.
Credit however you like.
Yeah. He will. Yeah. I think I got a little bit of the juice left. All right. I swear it's gonna do
Don't
something
like
this
that
time.
phrase.
Okay.
Oh, you got to touch me, do you?
I'm gonna touch you again. Yeah. Just,
No
and
worries.
then he will lay on hands for 20 on Celinox.
Cheers,
Yes.
mate.
What's Ezmerelda doing?
Ooh, I think she'd be trying to figure out exactly how long it's been since someone's been in the room.
Your best guess would probably be head to the desk. You know he was an assiduous journal keeper. So you would probably want to investigate the desk itself. So investigation on the desk. Perception check in the room. Trish, unsurprisingly, you sense no magic in here at all. The armor is of a quite antique style. Also, whilst you know Rudolf van Richten is a servant, and this armor is suited for one, why would he leave it here? Beyond that, just checking out for threats and potential traps, this room appears to have been rendered safe. You can see a spot where there would appear on the floor blast, like a fiery blast. But that was a while back, and it appears, nothing of any major note there anymore. A 14 investigation in the room generally. Celinox, do you move off the platform, or are you just staying, just having a look? You move around the room?
Yeah.
You hang on. I'll look at the notes. In the iron stove, you find the remnants of papers. They have clearly been burnt to and then stirred to make sure they are gone. Ezmerelda, how'd you do?
First time I got a 6, so I used my inspiration that I had left, and now I have a 17.
17. A wise decision. A 17. You find in one drawer of this writing desk a rolled up map of Barovia and a burned page from Van Richten's journal. Just one page that was apparently torn out after the book was lit, but before this page was burnt. It appears to have been kept. And it reads, "More than 3 decades now, I've undertaken to investigate and expose creatures of darkness to the purifying light of truth and knowledge. Hero, I am named in some circles. Sage and monster hunter, I am called in others. That I have survived countless supernatural assaults is seen as a marvel among my peers. My name is spoken with fear and loathing among my foes. In truth, this virtuous calling began as an obsessive effort to destroy a vampire that murdered my child. And it has become for me a tedious and bleak career. Even as my life of hunting monsters began, I felt the weight of time on my weary shoulders. Today, I am a man who has simply lived too long. Like a regretful lich, I find myself inexorably bound to an existence I sought out of madness and seemingly must now endure for all eternity. Of course I shall die, but whether I shall ever rest in my grave haunts my idle thoughts and torments me in my dreams. I expect that those who think me a hero will change their minds when they know the truth about my life as a hunter of the unnatural. Nevertheless, I must reveal here and now that I have been the indirect yet certain cause of many deaths." the loss of many good friends. Mistake me not. I do not merely feel sorry for myself, rather, I come to grips with a devastating realization. I now see that I am the object of a baleful Vistani curse. More tragically, the nature of this hex is such that I have not borne the brunt of it. Instead, far worse, those who surrounded me have fallen victim to it. I have related the tragic story of how my only child, Erasmus, was taken by a Vistani and sold to a vampire. I explained how Erasmus was made a minion of the Night Stalker, and how it was my miserable part to free him from that fate at the point of a stake. What I have neglected to illuminate before is how I tracked Erasmus's kidnappers across the land, or how I extracted Erasmus's whereabouts from them. In fact, the Vistani took Erasmus with my own unwitting permission. They had brought an extremely ill member of their tribe to me one evening and insisted that I treat him, but I was unable to save the young man's life. In fear of their retribution, I begged the Vistani to take anything of mine if only they would withhold their terrifying powers, of which I knew nothing. To my lasting astonishment, they chose to surreptitiously take my son in exchange for their loss. By the time I realized what had occurred, they were already an hour gone. Incensed beyond reason, I strapped the body of the dead young man to my horse and doggedly followed the Vistani caravan through the woods, naively allowing the sun to set before me without seeking shelter from the night. Shortly after darkness fell, I was beset by undead that would have slain me had not their master, a lich, intervened and spared my life, for reasons that I do not completely understand. He somehow detected me, and with his powerful magic, he took control of a pack of zombies that wandered in the forest. He spoke to me through the mouths of the dead things and placed a magic ward against the undead upon me, then animated the dead Vistana and bade me tell where I could find its people. Unfortunately, I say in hindsight, the plan worked. I found the child stealers, and my unwelcome entourage included a growing horde of voracious undead that could not touch me, thanks to the Lich's ward. When I found the caravan, I retreated. I threatened to set the zombies on the Vistani unless they returned my dear boy. They replied that he had been sold to a vampire, Baron Metus. Something inside me snapped. I released the zombies, and the entire tribe was eaten alive. Yet the story is not ended. Before she died, the leader cursed me, saying, "Live you always among monsters, and see everyone you love die beneath their claws." Even now, so many years later, hear her words with painful clarity. A short time later, I found my dear Erasmus made into a vampire. He begged me to end his curse, which I did with a heavy heart. Darkness had torn him from my loving arms forever, and I foolishly believed the curse had exacted its heavy toll. I wept until an insatiate desire for vengeance filled the bottomless rift in my heart. That is what the letter says. Well, the torn page of the journal. Only Ezmerelda has read this, unless she chooses to.
How much of this would Ezmerelda have known beforehand?
Not much. Definitely doesn't know about the Vistani curse. She knows that he hunted down and slew the Vistani who stole his child. They were relatives of Ezmerelda. They were her clan. She had, however, left them by that time, ashamed of what they had done, but didn't know that he used zombies to do it, or that he was aided by a lich.
Okay.
Ezmerelda, you could maybe guess there may have been a reason this page was taken and saved.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. do I notice anything else about the page or just what's written on it?
There is a lot of emotion in the writing. You're familiar enough with his handwriting to see that this is not the clean, clinical hunter that you knew. You haven't seen the guy in 4 or 5 years, but yeah, it's been a hot minute. And this is not the same man. I mean, it is, mechanically, but...
I'm going to say she's not going to share it just yet. That's going to be a outside conversation once we get out. So she's probably going to turn to everyone and just be like, has anyone found anything useful?
It would appear that a lot of books were burned. Celinox.
Someone's been doing some purging of books and such. Not sure I can see anything that was saved.
Would Ezmerelda know anything about what the books might have been?
You knew would have had probably 5 or 6 full journals. You do not see them here. And around the room, there is nothing of any significant value. He would have probably taken everything of use in the hunt with him. But there is, a couple of old pairs of boots that you recognize as his. Ezmerelda, the armor is not his. You've never seen it before. He actually did not go in for metal armor. This is plate. He's a studded leather kind of guy.
So shall I investigate the armor?
You can if you like.
Let's do it. That was a 9.
It does not appear to have... Yeah, with a 9, it's a suit of armor on an armor rack, on an armor stand. Your only thought is it's not ornamental. It's not pretty enough to be ornamental. This is a functional suit of armor. It's just been left here for some reason. But it's not Van Richten's. And it's built for a servant, so it's big. It's a fairly sizable suit of armor. It is full plate, head to toes. There is a helmet. There is all the way down to boots made of metal. Even gauntlets.
Well, I know for one thing. He has not been here for a long time, or at least long enough. But that armor is not his. I do not know why it is here.
Arta, you haven't done very much in a while. Do you have anything to add to the scene?
I don't know. I guess he's just generally just looking around and investigating. The armor would probably pique his interest as a soldier, or so does he sort of know anything about it? Is there any trimming or anything special?
Cool. Yeah.
Or...
Make an history or arcana. Oh, I do apologize. There is also a wooden chest in the corner of the room. I apologize. That is there as well. Ezmerelda would have seen it. It is closed and indeed locked. Trish, you would also have noticed that. I apologize. It was further down in my notes.
7 on his history.
7. Yeah. This is of an... You would guess the style is 400 years old. This armor would probably, at least in style, predate Barovia, as in the rise of Strahd.
So implying it might have been here for a very long time, like even before Van Richten's been here.
It certainly predates Van Richten's inhabitants of this place, you would
Okay.
guess.
Alright.
And given who built the place in the first place, and that they did so before Strahd was a vampire,
Mm-hmm.
that gives it a sort of date and possible ownership.
Yeah. I think you'll find the armor was placed there by the Lich's interior decorator.
Wizards aren't famous for wearing full plate.
So more, it's not just like a sort of a decorative.
It
suit
is
of
not
armor in the
decorative, though.
corner.
This is
Ah,
the
okay.
thing. It's interesting because it is definitely a functional suit, or at least it was once upon a time. In fact, it is surprisingly well maintained. Leather, after 400 years, would probably have degraded. However, the buckles and straps, you would look at them and say, look, I don't know any servants that would want it, but a servant would want it. It would suit a servant male of average height, and it would work for them. The leather buckles are in good condition.
Implying it's magic if the leather's still.
Given that it could not have weathered the ages without either regular upkeep, and you would definitely know enough about how armor is maintained to be able to tell that this has not been.
Yeah.
It's dust-free and undamaged.
Either someone's been here, taking very good care of this armor over a very long span of time, or this thing's magic.
Oh, let's worth a shot. The Celinox is gonna walk up, bow to the armor, and then say like, g'day, mate. Yeah, got anything to say?
The armor remains completely impassive.
Well, it went with the other thing.
Yeah, no, I understand. Do you lot know any servants? I mean, you probably do. Do you lot specifically know any servants that may have been here?
The gravedigger in Valakai, the servant lad. But this would actually probably fit quite well, actually.
I'm just saying, this would fit a servant. It's made for a servant.
I mean,
But
can't.
it's also worthy to note that the lich who built the place was a raptor.
So it's been here for a long time. I mean, I can't think of anyone who would want it.
Ezmerelda, you would be the specialist in magical artifacts. But I did just see Rach take a breath to say something. So, Elibee, you can make a history or arcana check if you like, while Rach says what she wants to say.
I was going to say Trish is going to try walking up to the armor and saying, show us where Van Richten is.
Make me a... Oh, what do I want to make this? Make me a persuasion check, Trish. And how did you do, Elibee?
That was a 21.
This, if it is magic, there's very few things it could be. If it is a magic thing, it's probably an animated suit of armor. If that is the case, and it's not reacting to you, it is either being suppressed by the anti-magic field, or if it was placed here by the person who created the anti-magic field, it probably isn't, for that exact reason, in which case there may well be a command word. That is normally, with your experience of this building, there is a trick to activating it. Trish, how did you do?
I got a 17.
The suit flickers to life. And stands clattering with the metal plates shifting across each other. It does not, however, say anything.
I'm going to do a happy fluff for Trish. Like, yeah.
Take us to Van Richten.
Please.
It deactivates again. It resettles itself back down and slumps forward slightly.
What did you say the first time?
Show us where Van Richten is.
It wakes back up again. It
Okay.
looks around, and kind of shrugs. Like the plates of its mail raise up. It is moving in the way of like an invisible servant is wearing it. But there is nothing. You could put your fingers in the gaps and you wouldn't find anything. There would be no resistance.
Hmm.
It's not his ghost possessing it, no.
Show us where Van Richten was.
It does not do anything.
Can you write?
It clanks over to the desk and pulls out a piece of paper and scrawls, but it does so in the manner of a child that doesn't really understand. It's like, I can do this. Is that what you want? Yeah.
All right. Nod for yes, shake for no. Do you understand?
It does nothing.
No.
Very particular command, maybe.
Reveal secrets of this room.
It stumbles over, like it walks, actually stumbles is not what it does. It walks very smartly over to the chest in the corner. And can I get a D6, a D20 in chat, please? Because it's going to make a strength check to literally break the lid off this chest. A 14 plus 2 means a 16. Yeah, it just wrenches the entire lid off this treasure chest. Inside, a lavender aroma emanates from the wooden chest, which is has been fully locked and sealed. It contains the severed head of a Gerbine Vistana man called Jan. The flesh has a waxy complexion and has been embalmed with magic oils.
Well, that's a secret, all right.
Do I know this, Jobine?
Make me a history check. Hashtag not all Vistani.
The 14.
He does look familiar. Not a member of your clan. But, yeah, you, like, whenever two clans meet, I imagine it's a big party. And so, yeah, he's of a similar age to you, maybe a little older. So, yeah, you, in fact, no, I believe it said it was quite young. No, about your age. Maybe a little younger. But, yeah, you would have been kids around the same time. You might have met him once or twice growing up. Yeah, you recognize him. His name is Jan.
This is Jan's head.
It's part of Jan, yeah.
Do we like Jan?
Who's Jan?
Did we like Jan?
He was alright. It wasn't, like... He was the kind of person who's never gonna be that, like, was never gonna stand out as incredibly special. Was quite happy to just do what he was told. He was no leader. He was no great thinker. He was a good man. As far as Vistani go, he very much firmly believed in family. He was a good Vistani guy. He very much believed in the Vistani values. They may not necessarily align with traditional values, but he, by Vistani standards, was a pretty decent bloke.
So
Does,
essentially, he was a soldier, not the leader.
Does Van Richten make a habit of carrying around severed heads with him?
Not
Only a
normally, but
bit.
in the from what you've just read, it might actually be a little bit make more sense than, but not normally in your experience. He did, however, know the spell Speak with Dead.
I think he was trying to get information.
From a head?
He has his methods.
Well, can any of you lot talk to a head?
We can talk to it. Can't tell you it's going to talk back.
Right, all right. Well, you go ahead then, Ada.
Show us where Van Richten is, he says to the head.
The head, probably unsurprisingly, does not do anything.
He may have. I'm assuming Ez has seen Van Richten use this particular spell before on
Yeah.
something.
The fact
So
that
she
it
knows
has
how
been
it works.
it has been embalmed and preserved means that he may well have intended to come back and talk to it again. But yeah, it doesn't continue working indefinitely. She is at least broadly aware of how the spell works and what it involves, and probably has a very strong opinion about it. Yes.
I do not think this spell is still as active as it may have been.
I thought you couldn't do spells in this place.
You can't, but you could do them directly outside.
Right. All right, well,
God
Ezmerelda,
says.
what are we doing? We're hanging out here waiting for him to come back, or we calling this a dead end? Or if anyone else has got another plan, then there's also option C.
As much as I would like to reminisce about my acquaintance, Jan, I feel it may be time for us to leave.
Is there a window in this room?
There are.
Yeah, well, I'm not keen on going back down through that. So if you don't mind, I might go out that way. Up for a bit of a
Hang on a
glide,
minute.
Ada?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trish?
I'm gonna say to the armor, go kill the wardrobe below us, then bring the platform back.
It planks over to the platform and stands on it. It does not... can't talk. But it waits. And it looks
Platform.
like ready to fight. Like its fists
Okay.
raised.
Platform down, please. Down.
Trish, I am going to have you make an opposed check on behalf of the animated suit of armor. Basically, the animated suit of armor has a +3 over what the mimic is capable of. The mimic is also not particularly interested in eating the animated suit of armor, but it will if attacked. So, can I get Killer Koala in chat, please, to roll an !roll space 20 for the mimic, while Trish makes a roll d20 with a +3 on behalf of the animated armor.
Oh no! I only rolled a 3.
Ha!
Can I use my inspiration for this?
You absolutely may. Roll, as in
Good.
exclamation mark, roll, as in the ROLL space, the number 20.
Oh, that's a bit better. Got a 19.
19. Alrighty.
I love making inanimate objects just fight to the death.
The word roll, yes. I mean, you've got to do pretty well to beat what Trish rolled. 17. Okay. You hear a banging and crashing. It goes for about sort of 2 or 3. No. Goes for about 20 seconds. There is a clang, clang, bang. It's like the metal hitting wood. And then a couple of screeches and a slobbering crunch. And then a crash as something about the same size and shape as a wardrobe falls through a floor and drops 40 feet to the ground below. No, 60 feet to the ground below. Where apparently all movement ceases. Then there is a clunk, clunk, clunk of... I mean, you can look down through, so you could see this happening, but it's funnier to describe the noise. Yeah, the wardrobe and the animated suit of armor go at it, hammer and tongs, until the armor throws the wardrobe back off it, and it tips backwards onto its back over a broken or damaged piece of floor, and then just the whole thing just gives way underneath it, and almost it's like a Warner Brothers cartoon, just square shape bang, square shape bang, square shape bang, down through 2 floors, and then hits the stone underneath. The mimic taking a cumulative 66 of damage just from the falling. It's not fun for the mimic, and I will say the mimic was killed by the fall, if not by being beaten around the head a bunch by the animated suit of armor. The animated suit of armor staggers back to the platform and then looks up at you like, come on then.
Platform up, please.
Clank, 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 and it comes back up.
Are you bringing your friend along with us then, Trish? We need
it's not
another
very
NPC.
stealthy.
Trish, if it's not over the rack and you were to say a command word to deactivate it, it would probably just collapse into a pile of armor.
I don't need armor though.
No. But
What am I gonna do with this?
if you find this potentially useful, you could
at
put it in a
ease.
bag, say, and then carry it around for when you need to set it loose upon something.
You could put it in your coat. No, I don't know if you could put it in your coat.
That would be the best pocket. Trish has a pocket of useful objects, a cloak of useful objects, and has already discovered it was one of those by pulling off one of the patches and a rowboat falling out of it. And she's like, "Oh, this is the best coat ever. How do I put more pockets in it?"
I reckon Trish could work it out eventually.
A coat of armor, if you will. Yeah, that's a very high scroungecraft check. Yeah, look, Trish, if you would like to try and take this thing with you, you can. Could Chet hide inside of it?
Deactivate.
It does not.
Does it do anything?
Oh, actually, no, it does.
Van Richten. Oh, it does?
Oh, no, yeah, that's better though. Yes. Yeah,
Van Richten.
it would deactivate. Van Richten, you have correctly deduced, is the activation word. It would
Cool.
seem Van Richten reprogrammed it because it probably wasn't the original creator's word. Yeah.
He used
All
his
right.
name as a password?
Not very secure.
No.
Only if you know who the password would, who changed the password.
All right. Are we taking the head as well? I don't want to carry it, but are we taking it?
I'm not carrying it.
If we close the chest, someone should be able to carry.
All right, well, you want it, you carry it.
How big's the chest?
Suffering sign.
Chest is normal size, probably 5 feet long, 2 feet wide. Awkward, but not heavy. Yeah. Extremely awkward for a small-sized creature, but yeah, Ezmerelda carries it, and I'm not going to tell her she can't. She is a strong, independent Jerbeen, don't need no larger creature to carry her shit for her.
And don't mention her size.
When you say deactivate, did you tell it to go and stand over the armor suit rack, or did it just clatter to the floor?
Oh, I think it clattered to the floor, so I
It
could
clattered to
bundle
the
it
floor.
up
You
in
have a pile
bag.
of armor. It is a bunch of different pieces as well. It's not all connected. But yeah, you can bundle it into a bag. You would find a bag in here, suitable size. It takes up most of a backpack. But yeah, you have a backpack full of an animated suit of armor that you know the password to. And yeah,
Cool.
you have potentially useful NPC ally. If you are very specific with your wording. Congratulations. Heading back down, Celinox and Arta, you're 80 feet up, looking out of window.
Oh, how high?
80 feet? You can get a good old distance. You could probably fly back across the lake from up here.
Yeah, I'm definitely going out there. Trish, is that cool? If we go that way?
Sure, I'll meet you back at the cart, I guess.
I can give someone a lift if you like.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if you want to come, I suppose.
I've got the heavy glider.
Thank you, but
I've got heavy
good.
glider
I'm
as
good.
well.
Samesies, bruh.
Does anyone
Battlemaster
want
and Paladin.
chest?
We could probably put the chest between the two of us, maybe.
What, on a stranded creeper held under the dorsal guiding feathers?
No, just like foot talons, a foot talon each, holding a handle each.
Oh, but it
Very
will
dangerous
ruin the
maneuver,
flight.
but I think
No, they'd have to have it on a line.
I have rope. I can
well.
pull you back. You be fine.
You two fly out, the other two catch the lift.
I'm keen to see how you fly with that log of yours, Celinox says as she jumps out the window. See if you can keep up.
Cute. If you want to make this in any way a competition, you can both roll athletics.
sure.
Definitely. It is definitely a 25.
Fuck it.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. 16.
Arta is probably a little out of practice. There isn't an awful lot of tall buildings or trees to jump out of, so he just hasn't flown this far in a while, but it feels good to have the wind through your feathers, Arta.
So he needs to regrow a lot of his flight feathers after.
There
the
is that,
acid
yeah.
burns.
Your flight is made slightly hampered by all the loss of feathers you've taken down one side.
It's kind of
because most of the armor,
unsteady, like a cheap airline. It's like,
yes, it's like comparing. Yes, it's Alitalia to Jetstar. Cool. Ezmerelda and Trish appear a couple of minutes later after some clanking and banging from inside the tower and make their way at a significantly more leisurely and somewhat awkward pace along the causeway, meeting you back at the cart. Arta, your job completed. What are your plans for the future?
He's just gonna keep doing what he's doing. Is he kind of? I guess I don't know if he's. I didn't really have a think about why he's in Barovia or if he's
He
stuck
kind
there,
of
or
just
if he-
showed up, I would say. That tends to be the way. He was out walking one evening in the Humblewood, the mists closed in, and the next he found himself in a place where all the animals are actually animals, not bugs. Which is, in my canon, all the animals in Humblewood are
you've told me they're
insectoid.
giant bugs.
Yeah. So yeah, it was somewhat confronting to meet a young Jerbeen woman on a cart being pulled by this huge servant-like creature for the very first time about 4 years ago. Very confronting. And since then, yeah, his main marketable skill set would be a soldier/mercenary. But he is also a holy man to a degree, a worshipper of Kareth.
Of Kyrith, yeah.
And so, yeah, what would he have been doing?
Yeah, I guess just wandering around, doing odd jobs for whatever the currency is in this land.
Oh, gold, but it is marked with Strahd's face.
Just so he can afford to eat. He really enjoys the local borscht. It's very good. I guess if they're sort of like rounding out the adventure, he'll turn to the party and be like, "Well, I'll be around if you need a soldier for hire again."
Pleasure, mate. And Celinox is going to do the like perch guard salute.
Yeah, he'll return it.
Then one of you two can tell me what that looks like.
Oh, we actually I've run the
Hell yeah.
Humblewood adventure out of the book before,
Hell
and we
yeah.
actually did the salute, but I can't remember what it was now. It's such a long time ago. I don't know. I feel like it would involve like a wide sweeping motion with the arms, so it's kind of like as they come around, so the flight feathers get fully deployed, kind of like a flex on the humble folk sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then bring it into like a fist over the heart.
Yeah, I was thinking heart. There's got to be a heart there.
I love it.
Wicked.
Amazing. Arta bows, makes the salute to Celinox, which she returns, I imagine. Pretty much very, very stiffly, and I think when you first met him, and you can decide otherwise, but I kind of like this idea, and you can modify it if you like. When you first met him, Celinox, you were initially like, "Oh, you're a perch guy. Oh, it's interesting," and then there was a little bit of like you were assessing the guy and weren't overly impressed, but he has grown on you, I think, in this, and he had just lost the precision that you would expect of a professional soldier. And here, in the returning of this salute, he has it back.
That's nice.
And he bows and makes his way back to Barovia, where he has he had a job lined up, let us say, as a guard. But he wasn't doing anything for a couple of days, so he was happy to help out Ezmerelda for the short term. I shall leave it there, I think. We shall leave it there, even. Because that was splendid, guys. Thank you so much. Pesh, Elibee, thank you for joining us. Elibee, chat, I did drop this before, but Elibee is going to be sticking around for the next little while as a permanent party member. But Pesh, I hadn't run that by him, and so this was just a one-shot for Pesh. But thank you so much, Pesh, for bringing that along and adding your bits of lore to my world. It is an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you so much, sir.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
I've
never actually I've DM'd,
never played it
plenty before, but never been a player. So that was delightful. Thank you.
I recently got to play in my world too. It's lovely. Handed the reins over to Brendan, and he took it and ran. So, guys, we're going to do what we like to do at the end of our streams and have our favourite moments, because this one was replete. So, let us chat. Bishop Blood, you know the drill. Roll a d5 for me, sir. Elibee being number 1 and Pesh being number 5. Working around, it's Trish. Favourite Trish moments. Number 2 has been rolled. What do we think, gang? Favourite Rach moments?
Oh, just at anyone can shout out, or
go for it.
Oh, cool. All right. So, I think I definitely enjoy the intense hatred for magic. I'm not too clued in as to why that is, but it was definitely
this is, I think, 10 seasons in the making of just Trish fucking hates magic.
I've got 2, but I'll do 1 and then we'll see how we go. So the first one I have down is hucking wood, because I just love that was just like a consistent strategy.
Yeah.
With multiple things. If
just
you couldn't poke
shit.
it, you hucked it. I'm gonna. I also love that expression, but I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, go for it.
I enjoyed the rage where you're just slicing ooze and then making it too.
Well, that's unhelpful. This session felt very much like inadvertently wailing on Trish. Just like, that thing you're good at, not today. That thing you're good at, nope. That amazing attack you did no damage at all. Sorry. I always love your interactions with chat. Your super concern for them. How Trish turns on a dime and goes full mummy caper for this little raccoon baby that you found that's totally a raccoon and not a baby mimic. Yeah, seeing that, and yeah, I always admire Rachel's professionalism when things aren't going so great. I also enjoyed that you figured out the how to get the animated armor that had a nice ending to it, that I could give you something cool at the end of a session of me going, nah, sorry, you just don't get this one right. You did get that one right. Well done. Yeah. Favorite self?
I like getting to make up Trish's opinions based on the stuff that she's seen just within the campaign, because like obviously I know more about the wider world, but I'm trying to just see what Trish sees. And the opinion about wizards always wanting to be more than just a guy, because from her narrow point of view, she keeps seeing wizards who want to be more than just a guy, and I'm like, calm down. And it's fun forming opinions like that, like the hot people being suspicious, ghosts being pretty cool.
In my
it's
lived
fun to make up
experience,
those opinions.
yeah, absolutely.
I find that fun.
He is a normal raccoon. He just has a skin condition. The condition being, he is a bag of skin that can take whatever shape it wants. Yeah, but
my second one was using the armor to fight the mimic. I thought
that was inspired. I loved that. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, yeah, that's actually great. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you. Right. D4 in chat, please. Someone, anyone. Bishop Blood, a 1. We're talking about Elibee. I'm going to go first. I'm jumping in. I'm stealing it. Ezmerelda is an established character. Is an established NPC that has been around since season 1. That's 2 seasons worth of occasional appearances. And Elibee, and I don't know that Elibee has seen them all. Have you witnessed her ever being played?
No.
Amazing.
I wanted to come into it completely not knowing.
So, you nailed the voice, first up. That is how she sounds, dead set. That is her demeanor. You, with zero prep, you nailed her. So my favorite moment would be absolutely, I love seeing it every time. Someone taking over an NPC, making them a character, making them their own, and yet managing somehow to keep what I had put in there. You nailed it without even knowing you were nailing it. So it was a joy to see someone else take a character that I love Ezmerelda. It's why I wanted you to be her. So letting somebody else take it and run is so hecking cool. I'm sure Pesh, I don't know if you've ever done this as a DM, but if you have, I imagine it's been a similar cool. Like it's always fun to see somebody else take something you've built and run with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 geese in a trench coat. Hey, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, that's mine. I'm going to jump in straight away. That's it.
I really enjoyed the accent. I thought it was very good. It's very immersive, and I also really enjoyed the pop and lock joke. That was
yes.
I like I just like watching you squirm comment when you are like, oh, are you talking shit about my size? And then just running it back. That was really funny.
Again, that's an Ezmerelda thing. She's done that before. Yeah, you just in a nutshell. I think the art. Have you seen the artwork, the original artwork from the book?
Bits and pieces.
you have a vague idea of, like, the artwork is really gorgeous in terms of very characterization, very characterful. It gives you a good idea of who the person is. Just, she's got this sort of grim, dark humor demeanor about her. She's got a missing leg that no one knows about except Smoothie. She's got a fake leg that she has learned to walk on so well that you wouldn't know. Mastercrafted, I suspect. Did you make it herself?
She did.
Yeah, hell yeah. And yeah, there's just so much about her that you just fucking nailed. Anyway, sorry, that's already been said. Ro, what do you reckon?
I enjoyed Ellie's little actions that were added into it as different things were happening. I was enjoying watching you, like your little like karate stuff and whatever that was going on. I was enjoying that. And I also really enjoyed your description at the beginning, particularly the black eyes. Can't remember exactly what you said, but it was awesome.
Absolutely.
Tis the void that looks back.
Yes, that.
Favorite self?
Oh, favorite self. Ah, to be fair, I've just enjoyed doing everything today. Like it's been a blast because I get to act with other awesome people and play in a character that's established and make it my own. So that's been probably the best part for me today, was just getting in there.
Freaking nailed it. I appreciate the heck out of this. Is a really good intro for this character. It established some cool backstory. It gave her, and which is why I loved having Arta here, it gave her life outside of the party. It gave her independent backstory. It gave her a little bit of narrative alongside being an established character in the world, but it built upon that as well. And I loved having that. Excellent. Groovy and cool. Any other favorite Elibees? We did have one in chat, actually. I saw Bishop Blood said. Oh, yeah. The very fact that it's Elibee is going to be here for a while now. Bishop Blood is one of our most loyal viewers, and hecking loves whenever new lore is added. They're a fiend for new lore, so yes, you have a fan there, Elibee. And now we need a D3 in chat, please, for the right-hand side of the screen. Moved up. I am now number 1. Don't roll a number 1. Anybody who's welcome to 3 geese in a trench coat would be very welcome. Exclamation mark, roll space, the number 3, please.
That
A
would be
2,
pretty.
the Lorite. Roe. Favorite romance, everyone.
Obviously the dance.
Dancing. You get it.
No, props for being the one that solved the puzzle.
Yeah.
So
Twice.
is that one? I'm not actually too familiar with anything to do with Curse of Strahd, just because
It's in the book.
Yeah,
I
okay,
lifted this almost 100% from the book.
Yeah.
I was getting down to crunch time, was running out of time to prep something fucking interesting. I read the chapter and was like, actually, fuck it, this is perfect. This is a good 1-episode thing. This is a bunch of problems, maybe some combat. What I added was the wardrobe and the ooze. I considered having you fight the animated armor, but instead I was like, no, it'd be kind of fun as a present at the end, because there is no fancy stuff up here. It's the head and a letter. So yeah.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
I also enjoyed the perch guard banter also. Yeah, I feel like if there was more interaction between the two characters at some point in the future, it's something that could always be fall back on as a conversation piece kind of thing,
I am completely open to Pesh coming back.
Yeah.
They need all the NPC help they can get fighting Strahd. It's going to be a bitch of a fight. So yeah, a letter head. Ahahaha, Lorite. Ahahaha.
I really loved how you managed to get Cell to just run with the lovely joke that I made about my size. Weasel your way out of it. It was beautiful. And then just unknowingly offend everyone else.
Yeah.
Was doing it.
It's like, no, I'm offending everyone. I'm offending everyone, including
You're
myself.
making it worse.
Yeah, it was adorable. I loved Cell being the one who solved not just the first puzzle, but the second as well. and going 3 for 3 and just like, politeness is the way. It's Celinox is this fascinating duality of just rude as fuck, blunt as fuck, but also sometimes just gets it right just by being nice. Which is nice sort of in spite of herself, and it sometimes just fucking works for her. Doing the dance, make a little love, and then get up in the elevator tonight. It was just charming to see her once again, like, 2 for 2? It's like, right, twice in one lifetime? When you're hot, you're hot.
Punching the slime was great.
Punching the slime was great. Cradling your sword? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that to happen. I'm sorry, dear.
You all know how I feel about that sword.
I do.
I fucking love that sword.
I love that you chose it instead of the one that you don't really give a shit about that's almost maybe magical.
You had said it was going to hurt swords, and the meta in me was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to use my sword. And then I was like, no, that would be the sword that Celinox would pick up.
Yeah.
That was devastating.
Yeah. One sword is objectively the best. The other one now. Favorite self?
Yeah, I mean, it was the like, I mean, it's already been said, but it's got to be the joy at the success of the things.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed carrying through the like dance and fun, and then also being joyful when Trish succeeded at something as well, and carrying the happy fluff through, where Celinox is just, she was having a time today.
Yeah, it's kind of like Celinox has found a girlfriend, and it's nice. Like, we both like killing things, and we're good at violence, but we're also girls, and that's fun.
Yeah, she was stoked on the girls' trip.
Yeah.
And that was a moment that I really loved actually at the beginning as well, where I was like Celinox was definitely singing songs, but I also loved that Rach was totally like, Trish would sing with you, because I like in my head for some reason I was like, I'm not sure if Trish is gonna sing with me, and that just made me so happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Splendid. Alrighty. Well, we need a D2 in chat, please, everybody. Exclamation mark roll space the number 2 to choose between the Joshes. We've had the ladies, now it's time for the Joshes. Otherwise, I shall roll with my doubloon that I have been fiddling with for the last little while. I've been stimming hard with this boy. Alrighty. A 2. A 1! Damn you, Bishop Blood. We are talking about me, the Pirate Josh, as opposed to the Pesh Josh. Let us talk about the Pirate Josh then. Favorite DM moments, everybody.
I loved the random question generator. That was fun.
Isn't it great?
I love that shit. That was great.
And you said you came up with that yourself? The questions on
it is from Teens in Space.
Okay.
It is the part of the character creation process for Teens in Space. They have that one. Their version has 20 good and 20 negative questions. So you can either ask a very positive relationship or a negative relationship question about these two characters when you're building them in the first place. And I was like, I love this idea, but I don't like that people get to choose to have a bad one or a good one. I like it being random. And I want a different proportion of good to bad. So when I went and built my own, I took the ones I liked from it. A few of them were very generic or very limiting, and tried to make them as broad as possible. And we did it on a homebrew, on a Tactics Tuesday, and homebrewed it with the audience. I took a lot of audience suggestions. And we built it up to 50. So we added about 20, 25-ish. I think, were you there, Elibee? Were you there? You were helping?
Yeah. We got to 50 by the end of that one.
I didn't want to push for 100. I may push for 10 more, though, because I do actually own a D60. So that would be kind of fun to make it a 60 relevant. The reason we didn't do that is because very few people do own a D60, so it wouldn't be super useful for everyone else.
You could roll a D6 and a D10.
You could, absolutely.
Would that work?
It would. It's functionally the same as a D100, but that would do it. So I'm very fond of that. I have used it. I love it for one-shots. And I've used it every one shot I've run this today, because it builds an almost instant connection between the two characters. It gives them a foundation of backstory, so you're not just groping around for what is our relationship. It establishes at least a little bit. It also helps build character, whereas a lot of people come to one-shots with only a vaguest idea of who the fuck they are. So, yeah, I certainly do. Play too many of them to bother making up a character. So, yeah, it's great fun. I also find it particularly useful for one-shots where I'm playing with, like, I'm at the table with professional actors and improvisers. And I have the privilege that I can actually sort of... I don't need to do that with a lot of my players, but when I'm running games for beer and pretzel people around the table, just average randos who are lovely folks, but they're not professional actors, it is a really helpful tool. And I did it down at Winterfest down in Bridgetown, and it flew amazingly. Everyone who played was like, that was so cool and worked so well. And I was like, several of them asked me for the Discord link so they could download it. They were just like, that's handy as fuck. And I'm like, yeah, it's a really good thing. I love it. Absolutely.
I enjoyed the like kind of foreboding tension that you were setting up on different things, to the point that like everything was suspicious. And then the things that were like, it was so suspicious that it wasn't suspicious, and then we did my fault, but we did stupid things. But I thought you did that really well today, where because everything was suspicious,
Nothing was?
Nothing was?
Yeah. I managed to trap you with a totally obvious mimic. It was like, it's so obviously a mimic, it can't be a mimic. Oh, fuck, it's a mimic. Triple negative mimic, yes.
I was the only one that wasn't hurt by the end of that, so I was cool.
Hey, you know.
But I also
tried.
love the door hinges inwards. Did that actually have any meaning?
Nope.
No, see, stuff like that. And then you're going like, oh, door. But it's
a
not
small amount it might have if you were like, because there were like, there's 10 or 12 symbols around the outside of it. Remembering that whole dance would be quite difficult. So if it hinged inwards, you would have been able to see them if you were at the right angle. So you would have been able to like copy from a distance maybe. But otherwise, no, it was completely irrelevant. But yeah, adding in details like that, and like, fuck, is that important? I don't know. Yeah, that's
I have
fun.
it written in my notes.
Might have been.
I've tuned in and out of your Humblewood adventures over the years.
Mm.
And I really enjoy your DMing style, Josh. And particularly like I'm like the whole online game thing that's proliferated since obviously lockdowns and things like that.
Mm.
And obviously I've only just returned in recent days to, like, in the last few months, to actually at the table in-person games. But I've always been fine DMing online, but I've struggled a lot being a player a lot of the time. Not really, mostly just because it's I guess I'm not used to falling back and being in the pocket some of the time. When you're a DM, you're switched on 100% of the session because you have to be. But you managed to keep me engaged for the entire session. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I really have enjoyed when I do tune in every now and then. Your Humblewood world, I've been watching since you guys started the adventure, because I remember tuning in when you guys. I think the first time I watched was the episode where you guys were working with, I forget their names, but the two tenders, and
Haviland.
Yeah, and one of them falls like during the battle, and watching your portrayal of the tenders. I think I was watching just after the party returns, and obviously one of them has perished, and your acting was just fantastic. So yeah. So I know that's outside the session, but what I'm saying is,
I appreciate it.
I just enjoy it.
It's really cool that was a while back, and yeah, Havel is still an ongoing character. He's actually kind of found maybe a new boyfriend, perhaps.
Oh,
it's super cute. Eric, one of the other players. Who Trish hates. Partially Magic Boy, partially just he murdered somebody, and Trish would never do that. My favorite would. No, I don't want to say the one. I really liked. Yeah, I think it would probably be. All like I just threw so many red herrings at you. That it was keeping the suspicion up because everything is suspicious. I like the module really did make this one quite easy. I didn't have to do an awful lot of writing for it, but actually no, there you go. There's one. I liked my portrayal of Van Richten. It was a little long. I was just like, gosh, this is quite wordy. But I think I did a good job of it. I think I managed to put in the amount of emotion in it that needed. It was because it's quite pivotal for Elibee's backstory for Ezmerelda, and I'm glad you were the one that found it. In the book, Ezmerelda has already been here and cleaned it out, and hid that note in her cart. So I'm glad that it was her that found it. So yeah, I really liked that, my portrayal of that note, that bit of lore in the world, because it adds something quite serious to that. Is that it? Have I been flattered enough? Then let us continue to Pesh. Favorite Pesh moments. Number 1 has been rolled. Yes. Favorite Arta.
I've got. Can I do 2 if one is like a general overarching, and then I've got a. Or do you want me to wait till last?
Look, since when were we ever that restrained unless it's Jack?
Okay, so my first one is a general thing. I really enjoyed playing with you, Pesh. I felt like it was very much a yes and kind of situation. And I really enjoyed that, the offers that you were given, you took somewhere every single time. So that's always fun to play with someone like that. And then the specific moment is in the battle, when you chose to vibrate the platform with your log instead of pulling back Ezmerelda, and then Josh was like, "Remember," and you were like, "Oh no, I am going to do the log. I'm not."
It was on brand
that.
for the 8 intelligence guy. So
Yeah.
I loved it.
A big dumb. Yay. Eldritch Scriber rating. Thank you guys very much for the raid, you bloody champions. Avast, mateys, you wee scallywags. Guys, thank you so much for bringing your lovely peeps. Des, how are you? How have you recovered? Have you slept? Des ran game number 3 some 16 hours ago. So he's either slept in that time. They, rather, have either slept in that time or not. I am unsure. Hopefully. At least one of us has. Yeah, bloody champions. Favorite raid emotes up in chat. I'm going to shout out the Eldritch Scribe. If you have not already chucked a follow over at the Eldritch Scribe, do so. Des is a fantastic DM. Can strongly endorse. I was sitting listening while they were running the game, and I was just thinking, I love the energy Des brings. But we're not doing favorite Des moments. He's already had them. So we're doing favorite Josh moments.
I liked the little perch guard salute you did at the end, because it's nice to remember that we're, with one exception, all from a different place and have connections to that. And it's cool seeing the bits of culture come into the game. And so I thought that was a really neat inclusion.
I gotta say, it was, for me, this is the first time I've actually had somebody who's come in fresh to the world, but knows it. Because you've run it. Your lore is probably a little bit different, but you know it. And so you came in with knowledge. When you said Kareth, I was like, you pronounce that differently. I pronounce it Kareth, and I was just like, no, that either way is fine, and I love it.
that's actually the first time I said it out loud, so I wasn't even sure.
I've never had a follower of Kareth in the world either. So this is all new. This is all cool. And yeah, like I said before, I love it when people add lore to my world. World building that I don't have to. I'm like, and it looks like. Yeah, hecking loved it. So cool to have a new person, adding more to this ongoing opus. It has been called more than once and not by me. That we are building together. So thank you so much for bringing your creativity and your knowledge of the Humblewood to the Humblewood. Playing a heavy glider Strig paladin, I was just like, "There's a well-built character. I love it. I love everything about it." And then he's going to go into a place. I'm like, "I'm really sorry, you can't smite in here." But for a particular favorite, your weapon is a fucking fence post.
It's a log. It's a log.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
It's in no way machined into like hardware grade. Lumber.
Even
It's
better.
Yeah.
Just a post. Yeah, just a log.
Yeah.
Love it.
I wanted to go for like a druidy kind of vibe, but as a paladin, so yeah.
Hell yeah. It's very Kareth.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, we
really
have indeed hit our goal. Thank you very much for noticing. Yes, 2,500 Australian dollary dues. Elibee, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, all good. I really love the commitment to the character and just the fact that I would keep throwing stuff at you and you'd just be like answering pretty much perfectly in exactly how the character would respond to just being suddenly given the end of a rope. Just like, okay, I have this now. It was so good, and it made it so easy to just kind of essentially throw shit at you, but you were so willing to run with it, so thank you.
Oh, that's okay.
Made my life a bit easier towards the end. So thank you.
Favorite self?
Or self moment? Like I said, it's my first time actually being a player in Humblewood, so I enjoyed building a character. There is a little bit more and background details that are still in the pocket for, if he ever does make an appearance in the future. And yeah, I was just happy to be able to write a character background in the world and be able to lean into it.
I have a second.
Yeah.
And it just occurred to me. He brought an interesting balance to the group. The other three have a sort of somewhat flighty nature about them. I get the vibe of sort of constant movement and flittering around and doing things. Whereas Arthur is just this, like a fence post, stolid, sitting in the middle, just as it all happens around him. When Trish is going over and picking the lock, he is just there. And he's just... here, hold this rope. I'm going over to that thing. He's just there. I'm like, oh, okay, yep, I'm doing that now. Just like a patient dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cute. Loved it. I think we have all flattered each other plenty. I have been awake for altogether far too long. So I'm going to go away from here now, but I do need to say a few thank yous because this is the end of International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day Volume 3. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you so much for all of your generosity. $2,500, a new record. This is the most subscribers we have ever had as a channel. This is the most followers we've ever had as a channel. This is the most money we have ever raised for charity in a single event. Everything, benchmarks all the way. Thank you so, so very much. Meeples and Dragons, thank you for bringing your people. Thank you for the donation of all of your wonderful prizes. Wooten Forge, thank you for the donation of your wonderful prizes. Thank you for your lovely donations. And Aaron Wooten donated some money as well. I'm like, dude, you've already given me 3 beautiful things to give away. I don't need more of your money. I'll take it because I'm giving it to a bunch of people who need it. But fucking legend. Roll with advantage, always amazing dice. I roll with advantage dice all the time. These are my personal favorites. They look like a storm-washed sea. They are roll with advantage dice. It's them and my pirate dice are the ones I roll with in my Wooden Forge dice tray. Roll with advantage are incredibly generous. Over the years, have donated probably about $1,000 worth of dice to these events. Just straight up. What an incredible generosity from them. Trollord Games, our newest and wonderful sponsor. Their Kickstarter is still ongoing. If you want to go over to Kickstarter and check out Codex Exaltum and Codex Infernum, they have donated $150 worth of prizes as well. I'm really excited to see where this relationship goes. I can see the relationship that Phoenixy Wacky has with them, jealous as fuck, and I'm excited to see how it goes. So yeah, that's incredible as well. I'm really excited about that. my lovely wife, Karen, who supported me through all of this, who took up the slack when I didn't have any steam left. I appreciate the absolute heck out of you. I love you, my dearest. So thank you so much for being there with me on this journey, and fuck, I'm crying. My wonderful players who donated their time and came to us today to create this amazing charity game. We have spread so much kindness out into the world, and there is so much need of it right now. You're all amazing. I appreciate the absolute heck out of every single one of you. It really, yeah, as I said before, it reinvigorates my trust and faith in humanity to see people bringing that, because it is so important. And I'm going to stop now, otherwise I won't be able to talk anymore. So we're going to go away from here. We're going to find some absolutely splendid beans to raid. I think, seeing as Agent number 1 came and played with us earlier in this very stream, we should drop a raid on Agent. Agent is playing some Rimworld. Agent is a splendid bean. Agent, this kind of bookmarks my online streaming journey as well quite nicely, because Agent was in the first game I ever streamed as a fellow player. So he's a bloody legend. We love him. Head on over, chuck a follow, throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat, show them the love like we always do, and we will see you same bat time, same bat channel, probably Thursday night, for my birthday stream. We're going to play some Jackbox games. Some friends are going to come and hang out. I haven't figured out who yet, but I'm sure they will. Yeah, that will be my birthday stream. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
Bye, everybody.